second Saturday in October has meant one thing: Texas and Oklahoma in football. It is a rivalry without neutrality. You're either a Longhorn or a Sooner. And these tradition-rich programs enter the 98th battle with two of the most gifted collegiate runners in recent memory.
It is a rivalry that has stood the test of time, and whether you're a player in the 40s or 50s or 60s or 70s or 80s or even now, as I mentioned, it's a game that your peers think is a kind of a judgment test.
You had your orange people doing the hook 'em horns up behind, your other people doing down with the horns, and knowing and thinking in my mind somebody had to win, somebody had to lose.
To be able to walk down that ramp and see half that stadium in red and half in orange, the state fair, everything about the game. To me, as a player and now as a fan going back and watching the Sooners, that's my favorite game.
It was a big, big ball game. And as a coach, that's as big as it gets. I've never been so nervous and excited in my life. And playing the Texas game.
You get goosebumps, you get chills, and you go out there and you hear both bands play. You got Boomer Sooner, Texas Fight, and it's just incredible.
Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler present the 93rd renewal of the Red River Shootout from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. It's the Longhorns of Texas and the Sooners of Oklahoma. And good afternoon, everybody. Along with Dave Lapham, I'm Drew Goodman. You talk about great rivalries, not only in football, but in all of sport. That is Oklahoma and Texas. And so often in the past, the story has been told by the running backs. And today, we believe that could be the deal again. We begin with Texas's Ricky Williams. How do you slow this guy down?
Well, Drew, definitely a tough task. This kid is an unbelievable combination of power and speed. Watch the body lean that he has. He gets his pad level low. Doesn't give you a whole lot of hitting surface. He's amazing the way he can break tackles. He has redefined the term contact balance. Over 61% of his yards are gained after the initial hit. He is just an incredibly gifted running back. Catches the football well out of the backfield, blocks well, great on blitz pickup. As you take a look at his numbers, two things come to mind. Incredible durability, and when you average over 6.5 yards per rush, you are totally efficient.
He is very efficient. He's closing in on Tony Dorsett's record for most rushing yards in the history of Division I football. Now on the other side of the field is Damon Parker, and he need not take a backseat to anyone, including Ricky Williams.
Oh, absolutely. A little different style of runner, more upright. Instead of running through you, you see the spin right there. You see the make you miss. He will bounce off the tackles instead of run through tackles. But once again, he makes a lot of yards after that initial contact, and he averages 6 yards a carry himself for his career, so equally efficient.
Last year, he had 291 yards rushing against Texas. Texas won the game. Ricky Williams had 223. Heavy pressure on the defense today. Dusty Renfro, the middle backer for the Horns, their leading tackler, and one of the premier defensive tackles in college football, Kelly Gregg from Oklahoma. It's Texas. It's Oklahoma. Come on back to the Cotton Bowl with us. By Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, this is the taste. And by the all-new BMW 3 Series. Everything your car does well, it does brilliantly.
The Midway at the State Fair in Texas, just a football toss away from the Cotton Bowl, the site of the 93rd meeting between Texas and Oklahoma. Hello, everyone. I'm Jim Knox. Texas and Oklahoma, one of the oldest rivalries in college football, and this is where it happens, right here in the tunnel. Texas taking the field. The Longhorns are on the field for the 53rd straight year. The Cotton Bowl is sold out. And here come the Oklahoma Sooners walking the tunnel for one day only, folks, in October. The
coverage, the 93rd edition of Oklahoma and Texas. In the 90s, Texas has had the better of Oklahoma. The 70s and 80s belong to the Sooners. And you go back to the 60s, and it was the Texas Longhorns. Texas won the coin toss. They want the football. Jeff Ferguson of Oklahoma will kick it deep to either Hodges Mitchell, number 3, or Jeremy Jones, number 19. Last year, 27-24, Texas.
Hodges Mitchell averaging over 32 yards per kickoff return. I definitely would kick away from Hodges Mitchell if I were the Sooners.
Well, the old bluff. Here we go. Jeremy Jones, 2 yards deep. He'll get it to the 26-yard line. Major Applewhite is the quarterback for the Longhorns. They call him Opie. He's 6'1", 195, almost all unassuming. He's a redshirt freshman who's doing quite nicely, replacing Richard Walton, the injured Richard Walton at quarterback. The offensive line, a veteran group, 4 seniors. Ben Adams has been most consistent. And of course, of the skill guys, it's Ricky Lewis and a good receiving corps led by senior Wayne McGarity, averaging better than 22 yards a catch. Ricky Williams will wear 37 today, and he's run out of bounds after a minimal gain on the play. Let's check the defensive starters for the University of Oklahoma. There'll be an even front. Kelly Gregg is the leading tackler for the 2nd straight year. That's phenomenal, considering he's a defensive tackle. Ante Jones, undersized, but he flies to the football. He's 5'9", 195. And Ghana Joseph, the strong safety, is a good one at 6 foot, 215 pounds. They gave him 2, 2nd and 8. Looking deep, got Cavill out there. And it's knocked away. Cavill had a step. Mike Woods recovered. It was underthrown.
It was definitely underthrown. The pressure got to Applewhite late, and he hung this football up. Woods was beaten. Cavill had him down the seam for a potential big play. Pressure a little bit late in its arrival, but it disrupted the timing of Applewhite just enough where the ball fluttered out of his hand instead of coming out cleanly.
Let me correct that. It was Wayne McGarity, 8, not 9, Cavill. 3rd down and 8 for Texas. They'll operate out of the gun. You can see why they call Major Applewhite Opie. Wide open. This is Cavill. Big gainer to the 42-yard line. 1st down, Horns.
Major Applewhite read the safety blitz. Ghana Joseph came on the blitz, and Applewhite got rid of the football very, very quickly. As a result of him getting rid of the football in a heartbeat, Cavill had an opportunity, open pastures, because of the safety blitz, the vacated area.
A pickup of 30 yards. McGarity and Cavill have been outstanding lately. Ricky Williams trying to find some room. He stays on his feet, picks up about 3 yards. Football comes out, but the play was whistled dead. Ante Jones running the other direction with the ball.
Well, what Oklahoma wants to do defensively is to stop Texas on 1st down, get Texas in 2nd and 3rd and long situations, and hope that their pressure packages can beat the protections and get some hits on Applewhite. They don't blitz just for token reasons. They blitz to put the quarterback on the ground.
The fullback's Ricky Brown. Now they split. Quick slant, and it was almost intercepted by Mike Woods. Wayne McGarity running the slant. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, there was was a blitz by Terry White, brought the other safety. Sight adjust, reads the safety blitz, run a slant route. Not accurately thrown. Garrity was there. If the ball's thrown well, it's a big play. As a result of the ball being thrown too far inside, Woods almost has a big play going the other way. Applewhite a little inaccurate there on the slant.
4 wides for Texas. They need the 31-yard line of Oklahoma. And Woods, the good coverage on McGarity, 4th down. The strength of the Sooners in 98 is defense, and the strength of Texas in 98 is offense.
And something's got to give today. The Sooners gave up one big play on a safety blitz, but when they safety blitzed later in the series, it worked well for them.
Jarrell Jackson back deep. Chris Stockton, the place kicker and punter for the Longhorns. Jackson gets away from it, and it takes an Oklahoma bounce. At the 17-yard line, they'll have it after the 23-yard punt. Brandon Daniels will be the quarterback. He is a converted defensive back, played some quarterback in high school, stocky at 217 pounds. Up front, it's an offensive line starting to come together. Burcham and McDougal, the 2 tackles, have been playing pretty well. And the backs and receivers, Damon Parker, the go-to guy. Jarrell Jackson, when they throw it, has 7 receptions and can get deep. Daniels on 1st down to throw it. And a great catch made by Gerald Williams. He's 6'3", he went upstairs.
Ran the fade on Tony Holmes. And that's the fear that the Texas coaching staff had. The height, the size, the athletic ability. Williams, 6'3", working against Holmes at 5'9". Ran the fade, secures the football. Just have to get 1 foot in bounds while you have possession. Texas felt possession was not established. The officials felt otherwise.
Just the 4th catch on the season for Williams. You can see Daniels doesn't throw it much. Now they'll run a flea flicker. Down the middle of the field, man open, and it is caught. What a catch by Chris Blocker. Tony Holmes was there, and now a flag comes in late.
There may have been some conversation that went on after the play. If that's the case, it may be a penalty for excessive celebration or unsportsmanlike conduct. Let's see if some trash talking went on that may nullify what could have been a huge play, make it less of a big play. Looks like Oklahoma's in retreat. Looks like too much talk happened after the play.
John Laurie, our referee. Dave, that could be the first of many conversations today.
Yeah, they want to try to keep control of this. Oklahoma, how about them coming out and throwing the first 2 plays of the game? Damon Parker, the old flea flicker, up to the line of scrimmage. Daniels going over the top. Deep route down the middle. Holmes never finds the football. Nice play and concentration on the football by Blocker. Big play right there, but too much conversation hurt the Sooners. It could have been a monster play. It turns into just a big play.
44 yards on the pickup, but minus 15. It turns into a 29-yard gain. Ball at the Horns 37. Here's Damon Parker. And a good open field tackle by Quentin Jammer, the free safety. Here's the defensive front for the Texas Longhorns. They are very, very young, only 2 senior starters. Casey Hampton goes 3 bills at a defensive tackle. DeAndre or D.D. Lewis was a converted fullback, and he's doing a great job at an outside linebacker. Jammer, perhaps the best athlete on the defensive side of the ball for Texas. 2nd and 9. Parker again. Damon Parker could take it to the house. There's a flag down, however.
There's going to be a holding penalty in Oklahoma that's going to bring this back on the perimeter. And there's too much talking going on once again. Joe Walker, I think, was held on the edge. Oklahoma wants to run the ball to the outside. They feel they have more team speed. It'll also make the big interior defensive tackles for Texas chase and get tired. They get outside well, but a holding penalty, second big penalty by Oklahoma in this drive, self-destruction.
John Blake is not pleased.
10-yard penalty, spot foul.
Last week against the University of Colorado, they lost by 2 points. Penalties were huge.
25 yards and losses on this drive. You can't go backwards like that, but it's the toss, get to the outside. They feel they have more team speed on the edge, and also the big defensive tackles will wear down pursuing inside out. Nobody touched Parker. He scores in touch football, but a hold will always help that effort, and the Oklahoma Sooners get called.
Oklahoma comes into this game 2-2, Texas 3-2. The two losses for the Sooners have been by a combined 3 points. They lost 13-12 to Cal and 27-25 last week to the University of Colorado. Second and 3.
Another penalty, false start.
Dead ball. False start offense, 5 yards, replay second down.
You know what, it looked like so many guys jumped for Oklahoma. I think the center may have forgotten the snap count. Multiple people move up front for Oklahoma before the snap of the football. Sometimes everybody's moving before the center snaps the ball. Right tackle, though, was even a half a beat quicker than that. So I think that's where the problem occurred, was out there by Big McDougal.
Cedric Woodard.
This is the bread and butter play that Oklahoma runs for Damon Parker. It's called counter O. This case, they'll pull the right guard. Let's take a look at it. They'll pull the right guard. The fullback fakes ISO, and then he's the second man through. Off guard pulls, and fullback is the second man after faking the isolation. Damon Parker tries to cut it back. Nice job on the backside gap control responsibility by Texas.
Third down and 9 for Oklahoma. Blitz coming. Daniels trying to get out of there. He will be a couple of yards short.
Now, with the kicking game woes that Oklahoma has had, they're not very successful as a team. 6 for 11 in the field goal department. 6 for 9 extra point, but they are going to go for the long field goal here instead of going for it on 4th and short.
And Jeff Ferguson is their long field goal man. You see he's gotten one there from 49 this year. This one will be from 47 from the near hash. He got it.
Low line drive. That was a 1-iron.
Whatever works.
That's right.
And the Sooners on the board first. The 93rd edition of the Red River Shootout. Oklahoma 3, Texas 0. Wants to keep Ricky Williams off the field today. And they did so behind Brandon Daniels passing on their opening drive. And they come up with a 47-yard field goal from Jeff Ferguson. And they lead 3-0.
You know, Drew, wearing number 37 tells me a lot about Ricky Williams. He starts with number 11, wears number 34 to honor Earl Campbell, whose records he's broken. And now to honor Doak Walker and his family, wears number 37 in the Cotton Bowl, the house that Doak built. Tells me a lot about the kid in that he understands and appreciates the history of the game. He's not an I-me guy. He loves the game of football. He's passionate about the game of football. I like that.
He's one of the classiest young men you'll ever meet, whether he was a football player or not. Ricky Williams developed a very close relationship in a short time with the late Doak Walker. Jeremy Jones and Hodges Mitchell back deep. It'll be Jones again. To the 23-yard line. Let's check our scoring drive brought to you by Buick for Oklahoma. Getting it in the end zone has been a problem, Dave, for them. They come away with 3 again, but they had an opportunity to get 6. Penalties hurt them.
Exactly, self-destruction. Shot themselves in the foot a couple of times in the first drive. They've already lost a couple of toes. Can't be shooting anymore today.
Texas right to the line of scrimmage. They run counter. Ricky Williams, not a whole lot of room. Good penetration by the defensive front for Oklahoma. Let's check the keys to victory today for the Horns.
Well, they want to dominate the line of scrimmage, get Ricky running a little bit so they can protect their quarterback and be balanced in their offense. Protection recognition. Gascamp and Applewhite have to decide where to slide the protection and be patient in the running game if Oklahoma makes some plays against Ricky Williams early on.
Takes a big shot after a pickup of about 6 or 7 from Ghana Joseph, who will bring the leather.
He will. This is Oklahoma defense, young, inexperienced, but they run. They've got great speed. Joseph with 4.4 40 speed himself. Oklahoma, what do they have to do to win this football game? They want to score touchdowns, not settle for field goals like they did on their first drive. Gang tackle Ricky Williams, be very sure in bringing him to the line of scrimmage and play keep away, ball control. Keep Ricky Williams on the sideline with long, sustained drives. Win the time of possession.
3rd down and a long yard. Williams. I don't think he got there.
I think it was a broken play. Applewhite looked like he was going to take a long handoff. He couldn't get there, and he pitched the ball late. It looked like he could caught in no man's land, whether to hand off to Ricky Williams or pitch. Somebody had an assignment error there. Let's take a look at Applewhite's body language. He's going to make the handoff, then he pitches late. I don't know. I'm not sure about the technique on that particular sequence there.
So Texas will have to punt it. Chris Stockton to Jarrell Jackson. And Oklahoma figures to get decent field position. Nearly a high snap. And this one goes out of bounds up at the 45-yard line. So indeed the Sooners will have outstanding field position. A punt of just 23 yards. 1 and number 2. The Horns do Carlisle shuttled a pass to Phil Harris for a score. Sooner quarterback John Hammond would come back and punch it in from 3 yards out. But Texas, which threw only 1 forward pass in the game, went on to win 28-7. 1998, 3-0 Oklahoma with 8:06 to go in the first quarter, and the Sooners have great field position at their own 45 on first down. Here's DeMont Parker. He's got the edge. First down of the 39-yard line of Texas. Run out by Joe Walker.
Great block by Luttrell on this particular play. Took McCown right to the turf. Take a look at the fullback as he comes out in the edge. Number 7 in the white jersey, McCown, taken to the turf, and that gives Parker the edge. More team speed on the perimeter.
Daniels' throw broken up. Gerald Williams, the intended target. Tony Holmes in tight coverage. Real tight.
Real tight. Did he go through the receiver to make a play on the football? Oklahoma thinks so. The official thinks not. You just have to time it up perfectly. That's exactly what happened for Holmes. Now this is a dash. Intended sprint out by quarterback. Holmes, did he go through receiver Williams to make the play? Official said timed well.
Option look.
False start.
This one is blown dead. Level level of emotion is always key in football.
Dead ball. False start offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
But so key in a rivalry game like today and how you handle it, isn't it, Dave?
Drew, you're exactly right. Sometimes you can get too excited to play the game of football. Whenever I was in a rivalry situation, I always tried to make my body in a controlled rage. Not out of control where you brain cramp, you miss assignments, you jump off sides, you don't fulfill responsibilities. A controlled rage where you can execute everything, but execute it at a high level with a full adrenaline rush.
2nd and 15. Gets about 4 yards. We talked to John Blake yesterday about his offensive football team and how they were progressing.
Well, I think we have a chance to move the football on. We've moved the football on everyone we played this year. Again, I think the thing we have to do is make sure we score once we get in the red zone and not allow mistakes to keep our drives from being successful.
Well, Oklahoma this year has just 37 points in the first 3 quarters. They've been very good in the 4th quarter. 3rd down and 11. Daniels wanted a throwback. Now down the middle. It's intercepted. Jammer with the football.
Drew, there's a flag
came down.
I think they have an ineligible man downfield. Oklahoma does. Texas will decline that penalty and take the turnover, take the interception. Texas did a great job of defending the throwback screen. Nowhere for Daniels to go. He's in a scramble situation, throws down the middle field. Lineman leak downfield.
Ineligible downfield on the offense. The penalty is declined. 1st down, Texas.
So you remember that call because you probably got caught a couple of times on screens.
When the play breaks down, the quarterback starts running around. That's the toughest on an offensive lineman, toughest situation you can be in.
6-yard line. Williams, not a lot of room.
I think there's a face mask on the sideline. Maybe a face mask out there when he was brought down.
A flag down at the point of tackle.
Doing a good job of pursuing to Ricky Williams, though. Inside-out pursuit, staying on their feet.
Foul. Face mask.
That'll be 15 yards. And Oklahoma is really hurting their own cause here in the opening quarter.
This is another definition of self-destruction. And, you know, Oklahoma upset about it. Ante Jones didn't like the call. But once you get up high, up around the shoulder pad or face mask area, don't tackle that high. Then it eliminates all doubt. Was the hand, even if the hand was on the face mask, it was off so quickly. 15 yards is way too much of an overreaction. Jones had a reason to beef right there.
1st down, Applewhite. Underneath throw, good catch. It was low, but Kwame Cavill came up with it. The 200-pound sophomore from Waco, Texas.
Well, Applewhite and his receivers are doing a pretty good job of sight adjusting their routes. Pre-snap read of the blitz. Little crossing pattern inside. Nice catch, shoestring catch right there. Ball thrown a little bit low by Applewhite. He's got to be more accurate, let his receiver do more after the catch.
Ricky Williams, his best gain of the young football game. Rocky Kalmus ran him out. A 1st down for the Longhorns.
Well, Rex Ryan, the defensive coordinator, had a great call for this particular run. Watch off the edge. He's out of screen right now, but you'll see Ante Jones blitz off the slot. Here comes Jones. Nice little block right there by fullback, just enough to lead Ricky Williams up the gut. Nice job getting just enough of Jones by Ricky Brown.
Ricky to the 20-yard line. Grabbed by 94 Ryan Fisher.
Story of the game right here, Drew. Texas moving the football and scoring points. 7th in the country moving it, 5th scoring. On the flip side, Oklahoma 6th in yards allowed, 12th in the nation, fewest points allowed. So good battle right here.
2nd and 7. wide. Ricky Williams, touchdown, Texas.
Two great blocks on that particular carry by Ricky Williams. His fullback, Brown, and down the football field. It was either McGarity or Purville in the end zone.
Rushing touchdown on the season for Ricky Williams, the all-time NCAA scoring leader among non-kickers. And Stockton makes it 7-3. And oh, by the way, Ricky Williams just passed Herschel Walker to move into third place on the all-time NCAA rushing list.
Let's take a look. Let's watch the fullbacks block right here. Little delay draw. Ricky Brown gets just enough. To the turf goes Jones. Down the football field right here, McGarity staying with his defender in the end zone, escorting Ricky Williams inside the pylon. Great block at the line of scrimmage. Great block down the football field. That's what makes 4-yard runs into long touchdown runs, so your wideouts doing the job down the field.
And Dave, you always like to talk about vision with running backs. Where it was designed to go, there wasn't much of an opening.
Yeah, Ricky bounced it. You know, he saw it was kind of soft at the cornerback level. He didn't think there'd be very much run support out of the corner. He was right in his decision, bounced it, and really creased the defense, hurt him big time.
And look at this, 11 of his 21 touchdowns have been beyond 10 yards.
That's only the second rushing touchdown Oklahoma's given up all year. They came into this game allowing just one rushing touchdown. Ricky Williams had 20 on his own. Now he's got 21, and Oklahoma has allowed 2. Look at Ricky Williams' numbers. Amazing. 6.5 yards per career rush.
Stockton will kick it deep. Either Jarrell Jackson or 41 Michael Thornton will handle it. There's Thornton. Jackson. Now they're going to throw it back. This is a live ball. Unfortunately, it goes out of bounds.
Oh, that was a forward pass. That's a penalty. It's going to be a backward pass. That's not a lateral. He threw that ball forward. That's a penalty. That's going to cost Oklahoma once again. It's going to be a backward pass, not gain ground.
They were trying to get it to Rodney Rideau, and he fell down. And you're right, Dave.
Forward pass on the kickoff. 5-yard penalty, not foul, first down.
Now what you're doing, instead of a reverse, what you're doing here is just trying to throw the ball, but you have to throw it backwards across the field. That's a forward pass. That's a no-no. That's the reason that the receiver has no opportunity. That ball sailed right there. You can't have those kind of mental errors. Forward pass is a no-no and a kickoff return.
John Blake's played in this game 4 times. He knows about the level of emotion, and he knows that sometimes 18, 19-year-old kids will make mental errors in big rivalry games. New quarterback is Patrick Fletcher, but he gives to DeMond Parker, who's blown up at the line of scrimmage. Flying in there, DeAndre Lewis, the redshirt freshman from Houston.
DeAndre Lewis, the most athletic of the linebackers, former fullback, just now getting figured out how to play linebacker.
Fletcher, a walk-on, whose father played in Norman as a quarterback. In fact, his dad in the 65 Orange Bowl, Ronnie, owns the longest pass play for a touchdown in Sooner history.
Fletcher with 3 touchdown passes. Oklahoma only had 3 touchdown passes all year last year.
Fletcher, good throw, and a good catch made by Gerald Williams, shy of the first down.
Fletcher's got a quick release of the football. The ball comes out of his hand very, very quickly.
You will see at least 2 quarterbacks for John Blake's team today, maybe even a third in Eric Moore.
Oklahoma is really opening it up, throwing the football a lot more than I thought they would early on, but they're killing themselves with penalty.
3rd down and 5. Parker lost the ball, still on the the ground. And he's going to lose a ton. Harris puts it on the ground a third time. Oh, look at this play. Seth Luttrell finally picked it up. Are you kidding me?
Amazing, and Humphrey made a play staying with Luttrell. You talk about a greased pigskin. This ball, you talk hot potato. Man, this thing must have been about 200 degrees because nobody could hold on to it. A little reverse pivot by Fletcher. The ball is very catchable. Parker can't hang on. Nice job by Lewis to set it free again. Now, once again, the ball slips out of Parker's hand. Heads-up play right there. Humphrey chasing it down from behind. I'll tell you, Luttrell saved the tragedy right there.
Jeff Ferguson will punt it. Hodges Mitchell is the deep man. Texas almost got there. This is returnable. Mitchell gets to the 40 and no more. A punt of 49, a return of 7. Chris Hammonds down on special teams, number 81.
I thought Mitchell was going to get more out of that than he did as well, Drew. He decided to spin predetermined and spun right into a tackler. Didn't really have to spin.
That's probably what he's hearing about right now.
Yeah, just take it north and south. Don't be a Tasmanian devil when you have all that green grass between you and the return guys.
You ever seen a play where there was 3 fumbles on one play? Maybe on a rainy field like we saw in Kansas City on Monday night. But this is beautiful. There's not a cloud in the sky.
Oh, it's great football conditions.
The Horns from their own 40. Williams and Ricky Brown in the offset eye. Ricky dives for about 9. Mike Woods made the tackle in the Oklahoma secondary.
I've been real impressed with Major Applewhite at the line of scrimmage. He's audibilizing a lot, checking at the line of scrimmage. That time he stepped away and tapped his left cheek of his derriere. That's a little audibilization, letting the backs and receivers know what's going on. Then he lets the linemen go let them know what's going on by his cadence change at the line of scrimmage. He's doing a good job at checking things.
Nice situation here for Texas. 2nd and 2, plenty of options. That's always a good option, Ricky Williams. And he will be very close to the first down. Hit by Cornelius Burke.
The defensive mentality, Drew, of both these teams is identical. Load the line of scrimmage and penetrate. Control the line of scrimmage. It's like looking in a mirror when you see these two defenses go at it.
Ricky, 10 touches already. It will be 3rd down, less than a yard to go for a first.
Checking again is Applewhite.
And a flag comes in. Williams has the first down, but a flag thrown by the referee.
5-yard penalty. Replay to 3rd down.
Well, I have 2 questions for you. One, how do you change the play at the line of scrimmage? It's so loud in the Cotton Bowl. And secondly, if you're not watching that 25-second clock, you probably can't even hear the whistle when they do blow it.
Yeah, that's the key. Applewhite that time taking a little bit too long to change the play at the line of scrimmage. He's signaling to the backs and receivers with hand signals, and then the linemen have to hear his cadence because during the course of his cadence, he changes the play at the line of scrimmage. So the linemen have to really keep their ears perked.
Full house backfield on 3rd and 6. Blitz coming. Hot man's Cavill. First down and more. Look at him go. See you later. Yard touchdown for Kwame Cavill, his first of the year. You live with the blitz, sometimes you die with the blitz.
That's right, and that time it was Terry White, the strong safety that blitzed. Cavill ran his route right to the vacated area. It was sayonara.
Little mix comes up on the snap and hold, but Stockton gets it through. And Texas now leads 14-3.
Well, let's take a look at what happened. You had the strong safety blitz. Terry White, he's going to blitz, come right up the gut here. Terry White does. Cavill runs his route right at the vacated area. Here comes White in motion. Right up the middle comes Terry White. Right in that vacated area, Cavill. Ghana Joseph double covers another Texas receiver, leaving the middle of the field vacated. Down the seam runs Cavill for touchdown. And Cavill tries to take every catch to the house. White's picked up, giving Major Applewhite enough time to deliver the football. Cavill catches it in full stride. And does he ever have a stride? Joseph, with 4.4 speed, can't close on him. Cavill came to Texas as a linebacker. Now he's playing wide receiver. Quite a position change.
Yeah, they watched him catch the ball as a linebacker in some defensive drills. They said, you know what? You catch it too well. We're moving you to the offensive side of the ball. They did that under John Makovic. Lamont Parker and Michael Thornton back deep. This is a short kick. 33-yard line is where Oklahoma will set up the return by Johnny Bayless. Big 12 leaders brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Donnie Hart at Texas Tech, averaging over 100 yards a game receiving. There's McGarity and Cavill. You know, it's not just Ricky Williams offensively, Dave.
No, it isn't. They're running the ball for 250 yards a game. They're throwing it for 256. Very, very balanced. Very balanced in first downs by rush and by pass as well. Texas is two-dimensional. McGarity, great story, coming back from knee problems like he came back from. Mack Brown, when he watched McGarity in the spring, didn't think that he'd have him available to him in the fall. But McGarity proved everybody wrong, making big plays for Texas.
There was a delay of game penalty against Oklahoma, so they moved back 5 yards to the 20. Fletcher still in at quarterback, rifling it, and it is complete to Chris Blocker. Tony Holmes was the cover man. First down, Oklahoma.
Chris Blocker runs the route. He's the widest at the top of the field. He's just going to run a little bit of a pivot route. Timing is key. You have to get the football there before Jammer at safety can come over the top.
Parker with the football. And he runs in at Donald McCowan, the strong safety. And another flag has been dropped.
Did Texas line up off sides? Or was there holding on the edge? I didn't see when the flag was thrown. Could be face mask as well, and it is.
Face mask, 5-yard penalty, spot a foul.
Well, that face mask is only 5 yards. The face mask on Ricky Williams for 15, I think, was way too critical a penalty. Definite face mask right here, hand right up in the face mask as he's being brought to the turf. Good call right there, McCowan involved. You can't tackle that high. You have to hit in the chest or down at the waist. Don't tackle up by the shoulder pads or helmet area. You're running the risk of that penalty.
And that will be that for the first quarter. First quarter owned by the University of Texas. The 93rd edition of the Red River Wars. Texas 14, OU 3. He's a happy guy. He's been in the end zone, and his Longhorns leading the Sooners 14-3. In a series that began in 1900, Dallas and the Cotton Bowl, the perfect setting, about equidistant between Austin and Norman. With Dave Lapham and Jim Knox, I'm Drew Goodman. As we're set to go here in the second quarter, Oklahoma will have the football 1st and 5 at their own 38-yard line. Carson Fields has the football. trap. He picks up about 4 yards, and we look at the first quarter numbers.
That's the big number right there. 7 penalties for 60 yards. That hurts as well. Jammer's interception set up a touchdown for Texas. Field position and turnovers are always big in a rival football game. And Oklahoma hurt their own field position by penalty, giving up more than half a football field in the first quarter and turning the football over one time.
They had a touchdown run from Damon Parker called back for a downfield hold. Damon Parker will be very close to a first down on 2nd and 1. If he got it barely. Casey Hampton wrapped him up.
2 penalties were critical to Oklahoma in their first drive. They had run the flea flicker successfully, and then trash talk. You got to maintain your poise. Unsportsmanlike conduct nullifies a big chunk of that play. And Damon Parker scores on a sweep, a toss, holding, nullifies that. I mean, you're taking 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. It was like shoveling sand against the tide because of self-destruction.
It was a first down. Fletcher's in trouble, and he's sacked.
Lewis.
D.D. Lewis got him.
Great athletic ability, Drew. They couldn't take his legs out from under him, and he had more change of direction than Fletcher. D.D. Lewis, they've sacrificed experience for athleticism and speed defensively, have the Longhorns. Lewis gets by the running back in the blitz pickup and takes the quarterback's legs right out from under him. Athletic mismatch there. Fletcher not quick enough with the change of direction to avoid Lewis.
2nd and 21. Fletcher on the option, nowhere to go. Well defended by Texas. Casey Hampton moved down the line of scrimmage, number 64, and he moves pretty well for being 3 Bills.
And once again, Oklahoma wants to get to the outside, either toss the ball, run the option. They feel that Texas has a little bit lack of speed on the perimeter. Oklahoma has more speed on the edge, and they want to try to fatigue the big fellas, the 2 defensive tackles inside. Texas has got a rotation going, though, amongst their defensive tackles. And they're getting good snaps out of their 3rd defensive tackle, Sean Rogers.
3rd and a whole lot. Good catch, but it'll be 8 yards shy. Jarrell Jackson sprawled out. Check it, it's 10. Gerald Williams who sprawled out and made the catch. It'll be a punting situation for Oklahoma. You know, 3rd and 20, Dave's tough on any offensive team, but an option team, a predominant running football team like Oklahoma, that's really a chore.
You called it 3rd and too many, and when you get off schedule like that, there's really not a whole lot of plays that you can call successfully out of your offensive playbook. 3rd and 20 is way off schedule.
Ferguson, end over end. Mitchell's going to get away from it, and it will be killed at the 21-yard line. Texas leading Oklahoma 14-3.
Wittnauer watches have a long heritage. Back when the Statue of Liberty arrived in New York, a young Swiss watchmaker named Albert Wittnauer came to America with a dream. The dream came true. Today's Wittnauer Cosmopolitan, a watch of distinction, a bracelet so supple you have to wear it to believe it. The Wittnauer Cosmopolitan with the exclusive buckle-to-buckle warranty. Fine jewelry, of course.
Available at Hanush Jewelers, New England's premier family-owned jeweler.
I'm a victim of child abuse. My life has been ruined because someone abused me very badly. Every day I fight to survive the flashbacks and nightmares. The effects are devastating, and for me, it's lasted my whole life. I suffer because I can't trust anyone. I want to fight back. I want people to know it's wrong to abuse children.
Fox Sports New England has the gridiron covered with the Atlantic 10. Records will be broken and the ground will shake when nationally ranked teams like Villanova, Northeastern, and Delaware battle to get to the head of the pack. Watch classic matchups, All-American stars, and hometown favorites including UMass, UConn, and URI in the hunt for championship glory. The crown is for the taking. The Atlantic 10, all season long on Fox Sports New England.
This is Big Tex. Welcome back to the Texas-Oklahoma game. Let's send it back now to Drew and Dave.
Well, thank you, Big Tex. I didn't know he knew our names.
Well, he's on the midway out there at the State Fair. He can pass block. Can't get around him. That's a big man right there at the line of scrimmage.
Yet you need a bus token to get around Big Tex.
Yeah, his movement skills a little suspect, though.
14-3, Texas from their 21-yard line. Major Applewhite looking deep to McGarity. And just over his head. He had Mike Woods beaten.
And that was a freebie because Oklahoma jumped off sides. Oklahoma was in the neutral zone, so that was a free play. Now, even though the incompletion, it's now 1st and 5, so Oklahoma's self-destruction continues. Applewhite with a hard count.
Offside, defense. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Applewhite with a hard count. Watch the movement right here. In the neutral zone you go. Don't listen to the quarterback's voice. You move when the football moves. Mr. Fisher, watch the football with your peripheral vision.
How about the composure of Major Applewhite? He's 19. Wasn't supposed to be the starter. He was in a battle to be the backup quarterback.
Yep.
On a delay, Ricky Williams. Not much doing. Ante Jones, 11, had him initially, and Ryan Fisher, 94, finished him off. Around the country we go. 16th ranked West Virginia leading Temple in Philadelphia today. Ohio State beating up on the Illini. It's Iowa 17-0 over Gary Barnett's Wildcats. And one more score to check in the Big Ten. Michigan State shutting out Indiana. 2nd down and 6. Here's Williams. And Ricky got a few more. He is a punishing runner. I think one of the best lines about Ricky Williams is he makes the defenders not want to tackle him late in the game, rather than the other way around. He wears you down.
Exactly, and when that starts happening, Drew, the 4-yard gains in the first half become 14-yard gains in the 4th quarter. He just starts to wear on you, and you don't relish the thought of going in and hammering that big body again and again.
Third and 3. Intercepted. Corey Ivy. Texas with their first big mistake of the game. The Sooners will have it at the Longhorn 37.
Oklahoma baited young Applewhite that time. They were fooling around with Ante Jones. Were they going to blitz him? Then they back out of it. Corey Ivy makes a big play. But watch on the edge. Watch Jones. He's going to blitz. Yeah, I am. Back picks him up. They ran a coverage, a trap coverage, and got the interception. Nice job by Ivy.
Give it to the fullback, Littrell. Nothing doing. Hard to run against Cedric Woodard, Casey Hampton. The other guy you mentioned earlier, Sean Rogers. They got 300-pounders in there at D-tackle, Dave.
They really do. And Ivy that time on the interception, Drew, did a nice job of reading Major Applewhite's eyes. He audibleized when he saw Dante Jones messing around. Ante Jones, I should say, messing around. He audibleized, and Ivy jumped it.
Daniels on the option. It just got strung out. Maybe a yard on the play. Quentin Jammer, 55, Anthony Hicks in the neighborhood.
Once again, Texas sacrificed some senior experience defensively. They only got 2 seniors on their defense, I think, for athleticism and speed.
Dave, they have 6 sophomores starting from Mack Brown, 1 redshirt freshman, 2 juniors, and you talk about just 2 seniors.
You give that man another recruiting class or 2. Mack Brown is serious.
3rd and 11. Kaba makes the catch, but Tony Holmes already had him tackled as soon as he caught it. Now what do? Gray area for Oklahoma, 4th down from the 35.
Right here, they start to run the wide receiver screen, but Holmes is all over that bad boy. He defeats the block, and he's involved as soon as the reception is made. I think you coffin corner this one and make Texas go on a long football field.
Well, John Blake agrees. Jeff Ferguson is in the game not to kick, but to punt. Hodges Mitchell back with his heels on the 10-yard line. And they take the delay of game penalty.
5 yards.
No harm there because it gives the punter a better angle if he's going to angle the ball out of bounds, or it gives him more field to pooch punt, to kick it high down the middle. It just gives him bigger margin for error on the kick. But once again, it goes into the penalty chart. Oklahoma with multiple penalties for a ton of lost yards.
And Ferguson gets it out of bounds at the 15-yard line. So Texas will be backed up, but they have an 11-point lead.
Most companies that make canopies for our nation's jet fighters look to this oil company for a critical component to make them bulletproof. When it really counts, they seem to be the one to count on. With that in mind, what kind of gasoline do you think they'd make for your car? You'd be right. Citgo, when it counts.
Hey, girls. Man, I am thirsty. Use a power, baby. Oh, pretty, please. Come on now. You're in there. Come on, son. Hey.
No self-control.
Come on now, Dr. Pepper. I don't want nothing else. Let's go, Dr. Pepper.
Vietnam War. A major television event, TLC brings you the heroes, the battles, and the raw reality. Thump and whoosh of chopper blades, muddy rat-infested bunkers, violent spatter of sudden water fire and morning sunshine. This is the stuff of a soldier's memory.
Vietnam, the soldier story. A 3-night event premiering Sunday at 9 on TLC. Adventures for your mind.
Oklahoma's been hurt by penalties and some other miscues, Dave.
Yeah, Jammer with the interception here. They took away the throwback screen. And then this, a forward pass on a kickoff. No way. It's got to be a backward pass. It's got to be a lateral. And then right here, boy, the multiple fumbles on this play. Lewis makes Parker drop it. Parker drops it again. Humphrey pursues Luttrell, or it could have been tragic, but Oklahoma having a tough time this afternoon, executing.
Ricky Williams. He can really go, folks. They just ran out of room. They never did get him to the ground. Corey Ivy saved the touchdown.
Well, we talked about one of the keys to the game being patience in the running game. And they have been exceptionally patient with Ricky Williams. And they found a gap right here. Nothing fancy, just a lead. And Ricky Williams goes north and south. Oklahoma lost the gap control responsibility, and then it's off to the races. If Ricky Williams hits the line of scrimmage with his shoulder pads squared up and gets free and clear of the line of scrimmage, you've got major league problems.
57 yards on the pickup. He's now over 100. 105 on 13 trips.
In the first 12, Oklahoma did a decent job, and 13 got him.
Now 14 will be a forgettable carry. 58, Nick Simpson, a true freshman, wraps up Ricky Williams. One of the things that Rex Ryan, the defensive coordinator at Oklahoma, wanted to do was keep a lot of players shuttled in there to keep his defense fresh. He believes they've been wearing him down a little bit.
Exactly, particularly in the fourth quarter. They're undersized anyway. I mean, Jones on the outside at linebacker, 5'9", 200 pounds. I mean, this kid, he'll hit you, but he'll get hit a ton too. He runs well, but he's awfully small.
Williams, the lone setback. Applewhite complete. McGarity with the catch. It'll be short of a first down. We talked to Ricky Williams yesterday about his personal rivalry with Damon Parker.
He won the battle last year, but we won the game, so hopefully I can win the battle and win the game this year. Last year was a great game. He went, ran for almost 300 yards, and I only ran for 220, but I think, I was a key in wearing their defense down and running the clock out into the game.
I only ran for 220.
See, when you get over 300 yards back-to-back weeks, 220, that's not so great.
Yeah, I guess not.
That's unbelievable. He's great.
3rd and 6, safety blitz coming out for White, blown up. Terry White came clean, number 13. And that's a big defensive play for the Sooners.
Huge play. What White did, he did not give Applewhite any look at it on a pre-snap read. No back on that side of the line of scrimmage to pick up White. Ricky Williams really doesn't pick up either blitzer. He steps up inside to help the offensive line. Two guys came clean, Jones and White, and they both met at Applewhite.
Chris Stockton will attempt a 50-yard field goal. He's got the leg to get it there. He's 2 of 3 from this distance this year. He's got a hook.
Oh, hit the upright.
It hooked, but not enough.
Hit the right upright as he looks at the goalpost.
So after the long gainer by Williams, Oklahoma able to turn away Texas. It's still the Horns game, however.
Vietnam War. A major television event TLC brings you the heroes and battles in the raw reality. Thump and whoosh of chopper blades, muddy rat-infested bunkers, violent spatter of sudden water fire and morning sunshine. This is the stuff of a soldier's memory.
Vietnam, the soldier story. A 3-night event premiering Sunday at 9 on TLC. Adventures for your mind.
These feet belong to Roger Camp, an extraordinary man who overcame a tremendous challenge. Roger is determined to lead an ordinary life, to perform the everyday tasks that you and I take for granted. So he won't miss a second on FoxSports.com, whether it's daily insights from John Madden or real-time scores and stats. It's like having the NFL on Fox online.
Hey, we've got a great match here at the Murphy home.
Sweet conditions inside the crib.
Cleared by the midfielder. Perfect header by the Italian.
Oh, the rookie's going to feel that one.
Fox Sports Soccer 99. It's easier on your home than the real thing.
He shoots!
Sports games, Fox Attitude.
It is one of the great settings for college football, one of the great rivalries in sports. The University of Texas and the University of Oklahoma, more than 75,000 strong in the Cotton Bowl. 53rd consecutive sellout. Right now the Horns lead 14-3. Oklahoma with the football. Damon Parker nowhere to go. Dusty Renfro, Aaron Humphrey around the football.
Absolutely, Drew. Great team defense right there. Humphrey contained it. Renfro finished it. Nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide.
Unofficially, 9 carries, 17 yards for Damon Parker, who went for 291 last year.
One of the keys for Texas, control the line of scrimmage both ways. They're starting to do so.
They wanted to force Oklahoma into an uncomfortable situation. That's throwing the ball. Daniels, Hyde to Kaba, and Tony Holmes was the Sooners.
Holmes once again giving up a little bit of height, but he does that with most receivers. Holmes only being 5'9", Cava 6'1". Does Holmes go through the receiver? Does he arrive before the football? Oklahoma's sideline thought so. Officials thought not.
Option of Parker. First down, Oklahoma. Well designed, and their first conversion on third down today.
With great speed to pursue inside out to make a play on this. Excellent call out of the shotgun. They run the option. Good read. Open spaces. Look at the green pasture there for Parker. But D.D. Lewis, tremendous speed. Once again, last year, Texas doesn't catch that play. But they sacrificed some experience for that athleticism and speed. Look at the running back comparison here. Ricky Williams busted one of those 13 carries. Big yards, averaging over 8 a pop.
That was Parker's best run easily of the day. Daniels on the option, late pitch. It's behind Thornton. It goes to Texas. Now they're going to say Oklahoma football, but there's also a flag down.
They may be calling holding on the edge against Oklahoma once again. Let's see. There's holding against Oklahoma. There's a third toe. Actually, I don't think they have any toes left on their right foot. Now they're starting to shoot them off their left.
Holding on the offense. Spot foul, 10 yards. The fumble was recovered out of bounds. Therefore, returned back to the offense.
Oklahoma does retain possession of the loose football, but holding is a problem. There's the hold right there on the inside. A takedown, an absolute takedown right there, thrown to the turf unceremoniously, was Aaron Humphrey by the tight end.
That's the 10th penalty against Oklahoma here in the first half. Hard to win if you're walking backwards a whole bunch.
10 penalties for 80 yards. That hurts.
Throw it in the flat to Parker. And he pays for that catch. Casey Hampton made his way down the line of scrimmage, got involved.
He was hit by
and Humphrey mixing it up a little bit with Brandon Daniels after the play. Got something to say to each other. Now that was a backward pass. Brandon Daniels, backward pass right there. That's what they should have done in the kickoff, not forward pass. That's basically a lateral.
3:35 to go in the first half, 14-3 Texas. And Thornton, not a lot of room. Aaron Humphrey. Michael Thornton has great speed. He's a 190-pound junior.
Thornton got thumped right there. Nice defensive play by Humphrey. And once again, Oklahoma struggling throwing the football this year, again finds themselves in third and a whole bunch. Third and at least 15. When you get off schedule like that and you're not known as a team that'll spread the field and be able to throw it easily, that's tough. You're way off schedule.
They need 17 here. Nice throw and catch, but it's about 8 yards shy of a first down. Gerald Williams on the hookup. And all that does is provide a little more room for Oklahoma to punt it back to Texas.
Exactly. All Texas has to do there is play a little bit soft with their corners, keep everything in front of you, and make a tackle after the catch, because 3rd and 15, 3rd and 16, 3rd and 17, the odds are the defense will win that battle.
They should.
Yep.
Hodges Mitchell back deep. Ferguson will punt it from about his own 35. This is a howitzer. And it is killed at the 1 yard line, maybe the 3 now. A punt of 52 yards. Great effort by Ferguson. We check in with Jim Knox.
Coming up at halftime, we're going to show you perhaps the best game ever played between Oklahoma and Texas. That took place 14 years ago. We'll also look back at some big plays in the Big 12 from this past week, and we'll look ahead and check out the Big 12 menu from later this afternoon. All this coming up at halftime.
All right, Jim, thanks much. 2:32 to go in the first half. Texas with the football at their own 3, leading by 11.
And you know, Drew, the one stat that's amazing in this series, when Texas leads at the half, they've won 32 times, only lost once, and tied 3 times. So if they go in the locker room with the lead at the half, odds are good for them.
Ricky Williams for 4 yards. Ball came out. Are they going to say fumble?
Saying he's down. Saying he's down. They're saying he's down. Down by contact. Said that his knee was down before the ball came out. The official emphatic about it coming in from the sideline.
Last year, Oklahoma was minus 22 in turnover ratio. One of the things Rex Ryan, the new defensive coordinator, stresses is gaining turnovers, knocking the ball out. They almost had one there. Williams to the 11. You talk about taking a pitch downhill, Dave.
He's a north and south guy. Ricky Williams gets up flexing that left leg a little bit, but I'm sure he's fine. The amazing thing about him and all the great backs, when you set records like he set, or Barry Sanders is going to set, is durability. The amount of hits that they take. He carries the ball 40 times in some games, and to come back the next week and do it again, a remarkable physical specimen.
Third and a couple. I don't think Ricky got there. Great play coming up. 46, Brandon Moore, the middle linebacker, scraped and knocked Williams down short of a first down.
And the key also, Nick Simpson got in the backfield and blew Ricky Brown up in the backfield as the fullback. The outside linebacker. He's out of screen right now, but watch the fullback right here, Ricky Brown. Boom! The collision is in the backfield, making Ricky Williams bounce it a little bit. And then, as you described, Drew, scraping over the top is more to make the play.
Last January, Ricky Williams won the Doak Walker Award and established a warm relationship with the 1948 Heisman Trophy winner from SMU. When the NFL Hall of Famer passed away last month, Williams decided to dedicate the remainder of his season to his friend.
It was important for me to wear it at the Cotton Bowl because that was a house that Doak built. And it's kind of my tribute to him in his stadium. And hopefully I can give the number some justice.
And today Ricky wears 37. He says Doak was so selfless on and off the field. He is who I want to be on and off the field. Chris Stockton will punt from his own end zone. Jarrell Jackson down at the 42-yard line with 54 seconds left in the first half. So an opportunity for the Sooners to put some points on the board.
Get a score, fellas.
Well, short field for Oklahoma, no question. Will they capitalize? You know, the field position hasn't been that bad for Oklahoma. They've caused their own field position problems with penalty. I mean, they pinned Texas back. They just got to execute without committing the penalty.
And they'll go with Patrick Fletcher, the better thrower of the two quarterbacks. Fletcher scrambling around for his life. I don't know how he did that. They had him sacked about 5 times.
Man, you talk about serpentine. That's a new definition of serpentine right there. He looked like Fran Tarkenton. This is Fran Tarkenton at his best. The pressure on the stunt caused him to step up in the pocket. Now all he sees is white jersey and he's running. Reverses field. Oh, reverse field once again. Defensive lineman left on the turf in his wake. That looked like Fran Tarkenton at his very best right there. And then nowhere to throw it, smartly throw it out of bounds.
And they're similar in stature. Oh, the pitch on the ground. The Parker loose football. McCowan has it for Texas. The problems continue for Oklahoma.
Second giveaway of the day. One turnover by interception. Now one turnover by fumble. Nice effort. Quarterback taken out of the play as a result of the defensive effort right there by Anderson. Fletcher pitches it inaccurately. And Parker can't dribble it. Football's tough to dribble. McCowan comes up with a big play.
Now a chance for Texas perhaps to score with 33 seconds left in timeouts. Throwback. Oh, this was read beautifully. Good job by Mike Woods. He was not fooled as they get it to Wayne McGarity. And now the Horns will burn a timeout.
Jay Humphrey couldn't pick him off the play. The big right tackle pulled out there, and he's supposed to pick the defensive back off of the receiver. Couldn't get out there quickly enough.
The Cotton Bowl was hopping in 1950 when number 3 Oklahoma met number 4 Texas. 76,000 sweltering fans watched as Longhorn Bobby Dan Dillon intercepted an OU flea flicker and raised 50 yards for the score. With the Horns leading by 6, OU's Heisman Trophy winner Billy Vessels bullied his way in for a touchdown, setting up Jim Weatherall's game-winning PAT attempt. OU won the game and went on to claim its first national title.
Afterwards, it was a turning point for us winning the national championship.
What was Oklahoma in those white jerseys, blue jerseys? That was a little different look there.
I would recognize that.
I'll tell you, these games, a lot of these games have had national championship significance to them. I'd like to see that happen again for both these programs.
And you know it will. Swing it in the flat to Hodges Mitchell. Check it, Ricky Williams. And Ricky is out of bounds at the 43-yard line.
Well, that's the thing about Ricky Williams that you lose perspective of a little bit because of his rushing abilities. He's a good catch out of the backfield, sure hands, runs good routes, tremendous in blitz pickup. He'll lead block if asked to. Just a complete football player.
If you're a pro scout, you have to drool when you look at Ricky Williams.
I'm not a pro scout, and I drool looking at him too. He's something else. He really is.
3rd and 4, 18 seconds left for Texas. And Applewhite had a man open. It was Garrity, but he wasn't looking for the football, and Wayne McGarity tried to reach behind him and make the play. Now it's 4th down.
Well, we were talking about Ricky Williams on blitz pickup. Watch this one. Watch Ghana Joseph come on the blitz, and watch Ricky Williams pick him up. Kakum. That's big time. Giving Applewhite a throwing lane. He takes Ghana Joseph right to the turf. That's full responsibility right there. Not just run it. You got to do the other things.
Matt Brown's team will go 4th and 5. Too long for a field goal here. First down yardage on the out cut. Corey Ivy had the coverage. Wayne McGarity ran a great route.
Forced out of bounds by number
McGarity
9,
once
Corey
again,
Ivy.
a great story, fighting back from injury. And now if you're Oklahoma, you have to worry about the double move, so you play a little soft, you give some cushion. McGarity drives Ivy off the line of scrimmage and then breaks it to the sideline, steps out of bounds to stop the clock.
And with 10 seconds to go, they're not going to run another play. They'll bring Chris Stockton on to attempt a 48-yard field goal. He hit the upright from 47 yards earlier. Good snap, good hold. They got a lot of football there. Plenty of room.
And remember, Texas has only lost one time in this storied series when they've had a halftime lead. 32 wins, only 1 defeat, and 3 ties.
17-3, Texas leading. Look at the traditions of these two programs. National championships, the Sooners own 6, 3 for the Horns, 3 Heisman Trophy winners, 1 for the Longhorns, consensus All-Americans, Lombardi Award winners, top 5 picks in the NFL draft. You go on and on and on.
Well, Ricky Williams will make that number 10 right there. He's a top 5 pick.
Yeah, he might be number 1.
He would have been a top 5 pick last year. That's another reason I respect Ricky Williams. He turned down all that money to be a top 5 pick in the NFL to come back and set all the records that he's setting. I personally hope he wins the Heisman Trophy. I think he's a great example for college football. I think he's a great role model for kids. He's got passion for the game of football and passion for kids. And I'll tell you what, that's a great combination, because when kids win, everybody wins, and Ricky Williams understands that.
Mac Brown says, as wonderful a player as he is, he's an even better person. Our Buick scoring drive, 5 plays, 17 yards, Stockton from 48 yards away. 4 seconds to go in the first half. Parker and Thornton back deep. But Stockton keeps it on the ground. And Reggie Skinner is chased down. The ball comes out, but the half will expire. A good half for the Texas Longhorns, a good half for Ricky Williams. Over 100 yards rushing. They had a 57-yard gain, and he scored one from 20 yards away. Damon Parker a little dejected right now, but there's another 30 minutes of football. 17-3 Texas, downstairs to Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Drew. Coach, got to be pleased. 17-3 going to half, controlling both lines of scrimmage, also keeping Damon Parker in check.
Well, really pleased. Anytime Damon Parker struggling a little bit in the first half, you know we're playing better defense than we have, and we also contained the deep pass after the first play. But everybody'd seen this game before, when in the last 9 years there's been 198 points scored on one side and 194 on the other side. Everybody knows we've got a wild second half still to come, and they get the ball the second half.
All right, any adjustments in the second half? You're just pleased as punch right now, huh?
Well, we've just got to go in and keep playing hard and try not to turn it over on our end, and the wind's a big factor too, so we got to do a good job of the kicking game.
Thanks, Coach. Best of luck in the second half. Drew?
All right, Jim, thanks very much. The charismatic and very, very classy Mac Brown. His team leading 17-3 at halftime.
Coach, down 17-3. What adjustments did you guys make at half?
Well, first of all, we need to establish an offensive guard. You know, we need to go move the football and not have penalties and put some points on the board. Give our defense a chance to rest a little bit. Making too many mistakes offensively. And again, our defense kind of held us in there, a couple of breaks that they got. So we need to go out and really move the football. We get the ball here this second half. We need to make some points.
All right, thanks, Coach. Best of luck in the second half. Drew?
All right, Jim. And John Blake's team will get the football. Chris Stockton will kick it deep to Damon Parker or Michael Thornton. This is Thornton. Thornton's got great wheels. He's got an entourage. Just what the Sooners needed, a 79-yard return from Michael Thornton.
Now, the biggest key right now for the Sooners, score 7. Don't settle for 3. You're in the red zone. One of the keys was score touchdowns, not field goals. This one almost ended up being a touchdown. A low kick, a returnable kick, finds a big gaping hole in the wedge. 3 missed tackles, and now Thornton's off to the races. Pretty good effort by Texas to shrink the field and knock him out of bounds to save the touchdown.
They're at the 15. Damon Parker. Good gain on first down. He got 6. Michael Thornton, the junior. 79-yard return.
Got an injured Oklahoma Sooner.
It looks like Chris Blocker.
Yeah, he was at the wide receiver position trying to throw a downfield block and get caught up in the pile. A lot of times, all the action washes over the top of you, and your body gets caught in funny positions.
Let's take a look at our halftime stats brought to you by Citgo. Just 23 yards rushing for Oklahoma.
Right, and right here, 2 penalties for 10 yards, 10 for 75 yards, giving up 3/4 of a field in field position. You can't have that. That's a definite no-no in a game of this magnitude. Oklahoma, they fumbled the ball 4 times. They only lost 1, 2 turnovers overall, but you put the ball on the ground 4 times in a game like this, that's not enough ball security. So if they can take themselves off the schedule here in the second half, in other words, don't have to beat Oklahoma and Texas, take yourself off this schedule today. Just focus on beating Texas and not worry about your own mistakes.
Dave, let's see how Chris Blocker got injured on the carry by Damon Parker. They continue to work on him on the field. He's number 24.
Here he is down the football field trying to throw a block. He ricochets off one. Now he gets his back bent. And it's either a lower back problem or maybe something in the knee or leg.
Well, we'll get an update on Chris Blocker in a moment. We step away. 17-3 Texas. Blocker is going to walk off under his own power. He might have to see the chiropractor tomorrow, though, Dave.
Yeah, his back probably needs to be realigned. Chris Blocker was trying to be exactly that, a blocker down the football field. 24 in the red jersey. You see his upper body get bent over backwards. You don't arch your back normally to that extent. And he's trying to shake off the effects of it right now.
Oklahoma is trying to shake their way into the end zone. They have just 3 points on the afternoon. 2nd and 4 from the 9. Parker to about the 5. They'll be just short of a first down.
Now remember, Oklahoma, they've been in the red zone 9 times offensively. They've only scored 4 touchdowns. Texas, on the flip side of it, they've allowed the opposition in the red zone 22 times and have allowed 18 touchdowns. So it's imperative that Oklahoma convert right here and get a 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line.
Seth Luttrell comes in at fullback. Parker in the deep I. They need a yard. Daniels to the 1. 1st and goal Sooners.
What a huge momentum gainer this would be for Oklahoma to return the opening kickoff, give their offensive football team a short field, and that offensive football team to respond and make this a 1-score game rather than a 2-score game. And again, big key in this, don't settle for 3, get 7.
Daniels on quarterback sneak. That looked like a little far for the QB sneak, but he got about 1.5 yards, just shy of the goal line.
He burrowed himself in there pretty well. And one thing Oklahoma offensive linemen normally are able to do is run block. Watch them up front, the red jerseys, see if they knock the white jerseys backwards. In the middle, they do get a nice little crease. Nice surge. Daniels cozied up in there pretty comfortably.
Matt O'Neill, the center, smallish by today's standards, just 260. Daniels again. He lost the football.
Hampton's got it.
Came away with it. Oh, man, what a crushing blow for Oklahoma.
That's the 5th time Oklahoma has put the ball on the ground, and the 2nd time they would have lost it. There was not a clean exchange between quarterback and center. What a horrible time to self-destruct in that area. The most basic thing to get done, the center has to make sure the quarterback secures the football before he fires out. He might have short-armed the snap, and Daniels never has the snap on the quarterback-center exchange. Let's see if it comes up cleanly. Right between his hands. I'm giving that one to Daniels. And boy, Hampton just falls right on top of it. What a time for a fumble.
Texas will snap it inside their own 2. And Ricky will get to about the 3. Williams dropped by Mike Woods. It'll be interesting to see how Oklahoma reacts. They had a 1st and goal inside the 2-yard line, and they don't get anything for it.
And a quarterback sneak took them to the shadow of the goal line. A second quarterback sneak opportunity, not even executed between center and quarterback. Snap exchange.
Turn of events. Chris Stockton makes it 24-3 Longhorns.
Well, Major Applewhite has just become General Applewhite, and he's excited about that 97-yarder right there.
Texas, Major Applewhite, 97 yards to Wayne McGarity, the previous long pass play in Texas history. Todd Dodge to Donovan Pitts in 1985 against Rice went 96 yards.
Tremendous confidence the coaching staff has in the freshman quarterback to make that call in that situation.
And now a little miscommunication as to who would catch the football in the Oklahoma end zone. They'll take it on the 20. Let's look again at that beautiful post route.
And take a look at Applewhite, looking the safety off, looking to the middle of the field, and then bringing his eyes back left to McGarity. Great route by McGarity, just outruns everybody, just a simple fly pattern. And it's off to the races we go. You know, Paul Brown used to have a saying, the great legendary head coach, sometimes the game gets too big for you. Well, this game is not too big for Applewhite. He hangs in there, and he gets stoned, but the Major becomes a general with his leadership on that play.
Hey, skips Colonel altogether. Oklahoma trying to answer. Parker strung out, no gain. Tony Holmes knocked him down. You know, Major Applewhite grew up an Alabama fan in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Wanted to go to Alabama his whole life. They didn't recruit him. In fact, his hero is Jay Barker, the former Alabama quarterback, and he's named after Major Ogilvy, an outstanding running back for Alabama.
Right, Major Ogilvy, it seemed like he was at Alabama for a decade. But this Major Applewhite, is a great college football fan. I mean, he loves the game, and that's why I love kids that love the game.
Enormous hit. Aaron Humphrey unblocked. Nearly KOs Damon Parker.
Now, what you have going for Texas up front is a bunch of stunting. You know, they're getting after it. They can smell the blood. Watch the crisscrossing going up front. Little line stunts. Humphrey comes clean. Offensive line for Oklahoma is confused on who to block. Humphrey lights up Parker. Tackle for loss, equivalent to quarterback sack. 3rd and long, way off schedule.
McDougal and Humphrey.
Now there's 2 flags. McDougal hit Humphrey in the helmet in frustration. After he jumped off sides, then he hit Humphrey. There may be a double penalty. Out comes McDougal. In comes a sub.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay third down.
Now he smacked Humphrey in the helmet after the play. I thought they might flag him for unsportsmanlike conduct, but watching the right side right here. Watch McDougal get that big body moving. Humphrey sees the movement right there, but he missed. He whiffed on the uppercut. Frazier over the top of Ali's head right there on the whiff.
Good thing he whiffed because Stocker goes 6'6", 363. Third down and a good-sized ranch for a first down. J.J. Kelly closed that down on Daniels. Oklahoma will have to punt.
Texas defensive football team, their feet aren't even hitting the ground as they run to the sideline. You're talking about an adrenaline rush that's like a tidal wave right now on the football field for the Longhorns.
Look at that. The heck with the Heisman. Ricky Williams for president.
Let's go there.
Jeff Ferguson. He needs a good punt here. Hodges Mitchell back in midfield. Pressure coming. It's blocked. Partially blocked. Marcus Wilkins got it up the gut. Everything going the way of the Horns.
Well, they're smelling the blood, and they're letting the Barracudas just go right into the water. Up the gut comes Wilkins. Deflection, Texas football.
24-3. At halftime, it was 17-3. Oklahoma had great field position, but they put it on the ground inside the 1-yard line.
Hampton comes up with the fumble recovery on the quarterback-center exchange problem, and McGarity just outruns Ivy. McGarity stretches the field. That's his role. He stretched it to the max there.
He runs pretty good for a guy with 3 knee reconstructions. Ghana Joseph up on the line of scrimmage, and Corey Callums combined to stop Ricky Williams. And great field position for Texas at the 27-yard line, thanks to number 45, Wilkins, with the punt block, or the punt deflection to be more accurate. Marcus Wilkins, a freshman from Austin.
Marcus Wilkins came up the middle and timed his jump. He hit the punter, but it was okay because he had gotten a piece of the football, no roughing.
Delay to Williams. Ricky picks his spot, lowers his shoulder pads, and gets 7.
Yeah, Ricky showing tremendous patience right there. Tell you what, that offensive line starting to establish itself at the line of scrimmage. One guy that they're doing a fantastic job in neutralizing today is Kelly Gregg. Have not been calling his name very much at all, and he's been absolutely killing people up front for Oklahoma, but Texas is paying a lot of attention to him.
Dave, he had 17 tackles last week against Colorado. For a D tackle, that's absurd. Third and a couple. Williams lost the football. Texas and Kwame Cavill get it back. Well, the Sooners are still playing defense. Well, better believe that.
The first thing I want to show you, well, we're not going to show you in this shot, but Oklahoma's got 5 defensive linemen in the football game. The problem was exchange between quarterback and running back. We've had a center quarterback exchange for Oklahoma, a quarterback running back exchange problem for Texas. Oklahoma went with 5 down linemen to stop the run in that series.
43-yard kick attempt by Chris Stockton. Smooth. And Texas extends their lead over Oklahoma to 27-3. Whole lot of happy folks in burnt orange, and that man will put a smile on his face if this continues, but there's still 7:55 to go in the third quarter. Ricky Williams, if you're just joining us, over 100 yards rushing in the first half. Major Applewhite, a couple of touchdown throws. We talked to Ricky Williams yesterday, in fact, about moving up the all-time rushing list.
Well, right now I'm just worried about going out there and playing hard and winning. And the only spot, person I really want to pass is Tony Dorsett and be at the top. So until that happens, I'm just going to keep on going out there and plugging away.
Well, he needs to average, coming into this ball game, a little more than 140 yards a game. And and he will eclipse Tony Dorsett's record.
Look at that yards per carry efficiency. Almost a full yard per carry better than Tony Dorsett. Look at the rushes differential. I mean, that's what translates into yards per carry. And then rushing touchdowns. 11 more rushing touchdowns than Tony Dorsett on all that number of fewer carries. Ricky Williams has been productive, to say the very least.
And who would take 5.7 yards a carry?
Really?
Yard line is where Oklahoma will have it. And speaking of Tony Dorsett, what does he think of Ricky Williams, the Heisman candidate in '98?
I had the opportunity to meet him at the Doak Walker Award last year. I was very impressed with him. So if anybody has a breaking record, you like for someone as quality as a human being as Ricky is.
And you know, Tony Dorsett's comment, another reason I like him to win the Heisman, when you have a guy that's a better person than he is even great football player, it makes it all the much sweeter.
You bet. Damon Parker trying to cut it back to the 31-yard line. And that was all Damon Parker.
Yeah, we were talking in the open about the difference in running styles. Damon Parker won't necessarily run through tackles, but he will certainly bounce off them. And if you don't get your hands on him, at least grab cloth and wait for some help, or put both arms around him, get helmet across the bow. You can't arm tackle him. You can't reach out and try to grab him, or he'll bounce right off of you. He's talented himself.
Throw caught by Gerald Williams, and let's visit with Jim Knox. Jim?
All right, thanks, Drew. Chris Blocker of Oklahoma is going to be okay. Just got hit in the back hard. He will return to the playing field. Now I got to show you something here. Familiar face on the Longhorns sidelines. That is Cowboys defensive end Greg Ellis. Of course, Greg Ellis played 4 years for Mack Brown. While he was at North Carolina, he has nothing but good things to say about his former coach of the Tar Heels.
Hard not to say good things about Mack Brown.
And Greg Ellis, one of the great defensive players of that awesome defensive unit the Tar Heels had last year.
Damon Parker on a delay. He'll have another first down out close to midfield. Oklahoma needs a string of big plays.
They do. Oklahoma just absolutely obliterated an opportunity to get back into this football game. Opening kickoff of the second half, short field, fumble. Texas goes right back and goes the distance. But with a guy like Parker, 18 rushes of 30 or more yards, half of those occasions, he's taken it to the house. He's a big play waiting to happen. You can't take anything for granted.
Daniels throw, batted down. Getting in the passing lane.
Anderson, I believe. I think Anderson got his big muckers up there.
Yeah, Jermaine Anderson, you're right.
Let's take a look at what Oklahoma had to do to win this football game. Touchdowns, not field goals. Hasn't happened. Has not happened. They get a minus on that one. Sure tackling Ricky Williams, 96 yards after contact, minus on that one. Keep him on the bench. Time of possession, okay, they get a check right there. But overall, that's why they're losing this football game. They haven't successfully done their keys.
2nd and 10. Thornton runs right into Sean Rogers, and that's that on that play. 73, 6'4", 305.
Let's see what Texas's report card looks like with respect to the keys to winning this football game. Dominate the line of scrimmage both ways. I'd say they've done that. Protection, recognition, great numbers by Applewhite. I'd say they've done that fine. And they certainly have been patient with Ricky Williams. 2 rushes for loss, but 12 times Oklahoma contained him on the 13th. Ricky Williams busted out. That's patience.
3rd and 9. They need the 43-yard line, and this one's blown dead.
The line judge threw that flag. He's talking to the official about a clock problem. False start.
5-yard penalty.
That's the right tackle. He's looking inside at the right tackle. Right tackle flinched before the start of the play. And that's a new right tackle in there. That's Pittman in there. Stalker McDougal came out after he brain cramped and jumped and then decided to turn into a little bit of a heavyweight, and I mean heavyweight boxing contender at about 300 and 3¼ depending on pregame meal.
At least. Now 3rd and 14 for Oklahoma. Daniels breaking down, and now he is dropped at the 30-yard line. Second sack of the day for Texas. Well, Rogers got there.
Excuse me, Drew. Texas has Oklahoma exactly where they want them. 3rd and a bunch. This is not familiar territory, so they start to twist and loop and stunt. Inside penetration, super loop. Here we go. The looper comes clean. He's coming around the horn. Sack City. It's tough for the offensive line to pick up all the stunting and twisting that's going on. You're on your heels, and Texas is just motoring to the quarterback.
Ferguson gets this one away, and he turns it over. Hodges-Mitchell over his shoulder at the 20-yard line. Great coverage by Oklahoma. An enormous punt of 55 yards and a short return for Mitchell.
Hodges-Mitchell, sometimes it's the little things. That's a great play just to catch that punt and negate additional poor field position that his offensive team may have suffered. He made a tremendous effort by catching that over the shoulder like a wide receiver catching a touchdown pass. That's a nice job. The return's all gravy. That's bonus. Just catching that punt was nice.
Well, Hodges is the heir apparent to Ricky Williams when he moves on to play on Sunday. Number 3 will tote the football for Mack Brown next year.
Certainly a different style of runner.
Here is Williams. A flag is cut down.
That's coming back. Good holding.
But watch it, because it's always fun to see Ricky Williams, but it will come back.
Good holding on the backside. Now they're even. Oklahoma has had a rushing touchdown negated by hold. Now Texas has a rushing touchdown negated by a hold.
Hey, Dave, we've had the opportunity over the last 3 years to see a lot of Ricky Williams football games. Who does he remind you of?
Say that again, Drew.
Who does Ricky Williams remind you of?
He's kind of Jerome Bettis a little bit in the National Football League. The Pittsburgh Steelers great running back in that he can run you over or make you miss. On this play, guard pulls, fullback fills with him. The holding occurs on the inside. They call a takedown on the backside. Ricky Williams creases it, and he's off to the races. You know, we asked Coach Blake that very question, and his response was interesting. He said a shorter Marcus Dupree.
And Oklahoma and college football fans certainly remember Marcus Dupree, who was big and strong, and not for a knee injury, would have had a great career in the NFL. Slip screen to Ryan Nunez, and Ghana Joseph brings him down.
Now, I'm not, as far as Ricky Williams again, the comparison, the bust, in my mind, they list him at 255. He's 270. I mean, at some point in the season after Thanksgiving when he's had the full turkey, he's carrying about 270. Ricky Williams, not that size, but similar running style. Bettis with a good lean, doesn't give you a lot of surface contact, will run you over, he'll make you miss in the hole. Ricky can do all those things as well.
And Ricky can run past you.
Yep.
Applewhite down the middle, bad throw. I don't know if it was tipped at the line of scrimmage, but it wasn't close, and Applewhite hung in there and was dropped by Kelly Gregg.
That's the reason for the incompletion. In his throwing motion, he was struck. Kelly Gregg gets a quarterback hurry there. The incompletion basically is due to his effort. And Applewhite in the pocket. That's not that particular play. That was a different look by Major Applewhite, who in my mind has elevated himself to general because he is such a good field general today.
3rd and 14 with 4:11 to go in the third quarter. Applewhite on the backside had it knocked down. Good defense by Oklahoma. And the Longhorns will have to punt.
Once again, Kelly Gregg, he had a good series. He hit Applewhite to cause the one incompletion, then he batted the other pass down. So he gets 2 passes defense, in my mind, as a defensive lineman. Knocks one down, hits the quarterback in his throwing motion to make the other one look like a wounded duck.
Jarrell Jackson, he's dangerous, back at his own 36. Stockton will punt it. And Stockton does a good job. He keeps it away from Jackson. And it's out of bounds at the 34, a punt of 43, a net punt of 43. Big 12 fans, how would you like to win a trip to the Big 12 football championship game in St. Louis? It's easy. Just answer the Nations Bank Salute to Excellence question. This week's question: who holds a single season record in rushing yardage for Oklahoma? 4 great backs to choose from.
Oh, baby.
And if you know the answer, visit the Nations Bank website at nationsbank.com/sports. All correct entries will be entered into a drawing for a trip to see the Big 12 championship. Participants must be 18 years of age or older. And for the first time today, carrying the football, Jermaine Fazan. Patrick Fletcher is in at quarterback.
Look at the big cage on the face mask. Broken jaw. Recovering from that. He's got all kinds of extra protection to make sure that he doesn't suffer the same fate.
You know, Jermaine is a good football player, and he plays, you mentioned Bettis, he plays around 260. He's got a little wiggle, too. He can play some tailback. 2nd down and 5. Fletcher. Off his back foot, throws it up for grabs. It was nearly intercepted. Blocker was the intended target.
The reason Fletcher could not follow through on his mechanics was D.D. Lewis. Once again, the Longhorns stunting and twisting and blitzing up front. As Fletcher feels the pressure, he has to vacate the pocket, rolls to his left, and here comes D.D. Lewis making him throw off his back foot, can't transfer his weight, it's up for grabs, the old tip drill, just can't get it done. Jammer can't quite get there. Nice concentration and focus on the football. He touches it, can't get it the second time.
3rd down and 5. Blitz coming. And Jarrell Jackson and Patrick Fletcher on different pages.
Exactly, not even the same volume of the encyclopedia. What happens there is the receiver reads the coverage one way, the quarterback reads it another, and they're not even close.
Jeff Ferguson and punt formation. Hodges, Mitchell deep.
Ferguson to punt, Mitchell back deep again. And Ferguson uncorks another great punt. Mitchell, fair catch at the 21-yard line, a punt of 40. It's been a day of miscues for the Oklahoma Sooners.
Yeah, it really has. In the first, early in this football game, they took away the throwback screen. Jammer almost mistimes his jump, but stays airborne enough to intercept it. Inaccurate pitch. Parker can't dribble the ball back into his chest. Texas gets possession once again, and now quarterback center can't execute the simple exchange, and Hampton falls on a 3rd takeaway.
Well, they came into the game averaging 21 points, and they were 65th in total offense. And when you have the problems they've had today, you really make it difficult on a young offense. Not much doing for Ricky Williams on that carry. And if you think about it, Oklahoma defensively, for the most part, has done a good job on Williams.
Oh, they really have. The touchdown run that was just negated by the holding penalty would have made Ricky Williams' numbers look spectacular. But a guy like that, when you have a cannon like Ricky Williams, you keep putting the gunpowder in there and firing it, because you may contain him 10 times and he'll crush you on the next one.
He has a 57-yard run today, non-scoring run, also a 20-yard touchdown run. Applewhite knocked out, tucks it down, now looks deep. McGarity couldn't come up with that one. Good coverage by Mike Woods.
Yeah, Woods recovered, broke back on the football pretty well. Applewhite, though, showing some nice poise once again. Protection's decent. Applewhite does a good job of handling the shotgun snap. They come on the linebacker blitz. Ricky Williams picks it up. Applewhite steps up into the pocket. Then he's running toward the line of scrimmage, lays it out there. Decent enough coverage to prevent another big play by McGarity.
Nice throw.
Beautiful toss.
Stockton hits it high. Jarrell Jackson at the 30. Oh, here's the reverse. This is Woods with the football. And he's knocked down at the 42-yard line. So John Blake trying to make something happen on special teams. 27-3 Texas with 1:54 to go in the third quarter.
Well, see if they can get another big play out of their return game. Jackson with a nice handoff. That's to time that up, take something, and Woods works his way all the way over to the other side of the field, lets the wall start to set up, and they start picking off Longhorns. But then Texas, with the improvement in the overall team speed, a lot of freshmen in the kicking game that can run.
Fletcher wants to throw, and blocker well covered by Joe Walker. The much maligned Joe Walker this year. Tight coverage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
You know, one thing that Texas wasn't able to do, they were so unsure of what they were getting out of the cornerback play, they felt they had to help the corners. And that limited what they could do in the box by overloading it. Today, the corners are showing a lot more confidence. And Texas is able to load the box up more and stunt and blitz and twist. So now they're even running a nickel package today for the first time in 3rd and long. They've got extra defensive backs in running a nickel.
Yeah, they couldn't get it in the first 4 weeks of the season.
Imagine playing UCLA without a nickel. That's suicide.
Lamont Parker, just nowhere to run. Donald McCowan came up, a minimal gain. It'll set up 3rd down and 7 for Oklahoma.
You go out and play UCLA and Kansas State by having to play your base defensive people when they're spreading the field with 3 and 4 wides, and you've got safeties and linebackers lining up on wide receivers, you're in a world of hurt. And that's where Texas was. They got a lot of guys that change positions, and we're learning the defensive techniques. They've come a long, long way in this football season.
Texas, everybody, another sack. Quentin Jammer, the free safety, gets a shot on Fletcher.
And that's what I'm talking about. The confidence to bring the safety instead of keeping him back to help the corners. Quentin Jammer comes right up the gut because they feel that the corners are going to hold up. There comes Quentin, timing it up. Nobody sees him. Clear path to the quarterback, sack. They thought that Quentin Jammer would have to help the corners, but confidence in the corners, bring the safety on the blitz and hurt the quarterback.
Texas defense improved greatly last week against Iowa State. They shut down Darren Davis, and a good running game for Iowa State. And this week they're shutting down Oklahoma. Hodges Mitchell after another beautiful punt by Ferguson. That one 45 yards. Calls the fair catch. Let's take a look at the Associated Press top 25 as we're getting toward mid-October. Nebraska out of the Big 12 right behind Ohio State. Kansas State will play Colorado, 2 unbeatens today. That'll come tonight. There's Colorado at 14. How about the Aggies? They have Nebraska later on. They're 18th in the country. And Missouri at 21. And your alma mater at 24, and they need to start picking off W's.
I'm telling you what, they've had a couple blowouts. They need another pit stop, another tire change. You know, when you have 5 of the top 25 out of a conference, though, 20% of the top 25 out of the Big 12, that's not bad. Not bad at all.
What a matchup that'll be in Boulder tonight. Colorado and Kansas State.
There's 2 flags.
False start, simulating snap, quarterback, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, the referee decided to toss his after his side judge had thrown it. I thought he called the second penalty. And what he called Major Applewhite was for head bobbing, simulating the start of a play. Quarterback can't intentionally make a violent movement to try to draw the defensive football team offside. That's away from the norm.
This guy's got all the subtleties as if he's played quarterback for 30 years.
The game's not too big for him, I'll tell you that.
He wants a bunch here. It's complete. Diving catch by McGarity.
And Applewhite led him to the middle of the field beautifully because the coverage wasn't all that bad out of Stevens, but there was no safety in the middle of the field. Applewhite saw there's no safety in the middle of the field, so what you do there is you lead your receiver to the middle of the football field. Gets rid of it right before contact, no safety. He sees McGarity get inside position, leads him down the middle more. That's a pretty heady young quarterback right there.
Yeah, he's been so banged up with knee injuries in his career. When Mac Brown came to Texas, he said, hey, if you want a medical hardship and stay on scholarship but not play football, we'll understand. He said, nope, I'm coming back and I'm going to have a big year. He's responded, and the Longhorns are responding. Through 3 quarters, they're up big time. 3 quarters complete from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Texas leading Oklahoma 27-3 in the 93rd get-together, the Battle of the Red River. And the story today, in some regards, has been the passing of Major Applewhite and 2 of his favorite targets, McGarity and Cavill. Ooh, they run option there. That might be the last time we see the option today. Greg Mohammed blew that play up.
He sure did. And McGarity and Cavill not only combining for well over 100 yards, they each have a touchdown reception and a big play touchdown reception. This option is caught from behind. The penetration disruption is extreme by Mohammed, blew it up.
Another product from Carter High School here in Dallas. They got about 5,000 of them playing college football.
It's a machine.
2nd down and 13. 8 on the line of scrimmage for Oklahoma. The hot man is McGarity, and it is over his head. Woods in the soft coverage did a pretty good job. Nice job by Mike Woods.
Yeah, if Applewhite could have thrown the fade more to the sideline. He tried to bring that back to the field again. Instead of if he had taken McGarity to the sideline, I'm not sure Wood would have been able to make the play that he did make. But Applewhite under extreme pressure. Oklahoma, as you can see, loading up the line of scrimmage, bringing everybody. They brought 8 and dropped 3 into coverage. If Applewhite had thrown over McGarity's right shoulder toward the sideline instead of his left shoulder toward the hash mark, it might have been better off.
Mac Brown talked about recognition, and Major Applewhite has recognized every defense thrown at him today. This one knocked down by Darrell Bright again. 2nd time. He has gotten his big bits on a pass. So Oklahoma turns away Texas. 14-18 to go in the 4th quarter. Not impossible for the Sooners, but they'll have to be real special offensively and on special teams here in the final 14-plus minutes.
And you know, Drew, you mentioned recognition. Not only Applewhite, but up front in the line of scrimmage, Cascamp doing a nice job of recognizing the defensive fronts and calling for Texans for the O-line.
He's the only non-senior on that O-line. Jarrell Jackson. Good coverage by Texas. Hodges Mitchell, who catches punts, covering that one up. Right now, 27-3. Drew Goodman, Dave Lapham, Jim Knox. Glad you're with us today from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, and a new quarterback for Oklahoma, Eric Moore, who's listed as a wideout, but he's played plenty of quarterback in his career. You see 20 touchdown passes. He'll be the 3rd quarterback used today by the Sooners. As they try to get something going, they've punted on 9 of their last 10 possessions. He can do this also.
Eric Moore on the beat.
Oklahoma spread the football field, multiple wideouts, and when Eric Moore saw that his 1st and 2nd options weren't available to him, he saw the protection break down to his left, tucked it, and went for significant yards.
Yeah, you go back to 1995, Eric Moore was a starting quarterback every Saturday afternoon.
Right. He's a two-way threat, can beat you with his throwing arm as well as his jackhammer feet.
Lamont Parker. Oh, the ball. Texas has it.
Jammer with the big hit.
Joe Walker, the recovery. It's like a broken record. Problems galore for Oklahoma. today.
Well, Jammer's been involved. He's recovered a fumble. He's had an interception now. He's going to force a fumble. Boom! Helmet right on the football. And Walker comes up with a great hit. Just a coaching reel hit by Jammer. And Walker says thank you very much, but Jammer did all the work on that particular play.
Brown and Ricky Williams behind Applewhite. Ricky Williams trying to get wide, lost his footing, and he'll lose a few yards. Ghana Joseph in the backfield. 29's a strong safety, but he might as well be a defensive end today.
And Ricky Williams in the first half lit it up pretty good, but right now 24 rushes for 112 yards. -1 rushing in the second half on 7 carries, although he had a 70-yard touchdown run, 70 yards plus, called back due to holding.
Applewhite shrewdly using as much of the play clock as possible. He's got it complete. Good catch by Ricky Williams. Then you need a sledgehammer to bring him down. He was carrying Brandon Moore, the middle backer, who goes 225 pounds.
Well, Applewhite showing me something here. He makes all the throws, and he makes all the throws in a different fashion. But Ricky Williams is just a check down on this play for Applewhite, but he throws it accurately. And so Ghana Joseph can't make a play on the football, but Applewhite dropped down on that one and slung it sidearm. He delivers the ball from anywhere, and he delivers it fairly accurately.
3rd down and 4. Deville in motion. And the open man is Ricky Brown out of the backfield. 1st down, Texas, to the 38-yard line of Oklahoma.
You know what goes on when an offensive line and a quarterback and receiver, everybody has to be effective in order to complete passes. And let's take a look. What's right here? There's identification, there's recognition, directing the offensive line, where to slide the protection, who to pick up. Applewhite's already made a lot of his decisions, but that's where it starts. And then the quarterback executes and the receivers execute, but you have to get them started. The center's doing it well.
That O-line has done a great job protecting Applewhite. There it breaks down a little bit, and it's incomplete. You know, Mac Brown is on record in the last week or so as saying that this kid has played so well that when Richard Walton comes back, the preseason starter, it might not be his job. He has a broken hand. He got the cast off earlier this week and will practice next week. He said, we're in the business of winning football games, and this kid's been going so strong, maybe you can't take him out.
Well, when I look at him as an offensive lineman, I see 2 things. Preparation, he studies game plans better than anybody, and no panic. None in this kid at all.
Williams runs into Dale Allen, 84, minimal gain. And let's check in again with Jim Knox. Jim.
All right, thanks, Drew. You guys talked about Leonard Davis and his nickname Big, rightfully so, 6'6", 350 pounds, jersey size, extra large. And here's his shoe. Hey, it's a size 18, so not only a lot of beef, a lot of cleat on that Longhorn offensive line.
You need a base, right, Dave? That's 5 extras. How big was your jersey?
Geez, I think I might have been a 3. So Leonard's 2 more than that. I hope Jim has big odor eaters for those shoes. You need oversized odor eaters for those 18 Triple E's now.
I could water ski in those babies.
Man, the Chevets.
3rd and 9. Applewhite, another pump. Now he goes deep and out of bounds. Dave, he may have seen every receiver out in that particular play.
Well, sometimes trying to get around the size of a guy like Leonard Davis is an impossibility. If he sets up with the proper technique, watch big number 70 at the bottom of the screen, and he locks you up. I mean, that jam right there, he's knocking him backwards. Big Leonard, you can jam, you can hit the defensive line with both hands and stop their rush. He jams them and knocks them backwards.
We met him last year. He came into a meeting, and Dave, he's the biggest human being I've ever seen.
Oh, he's massive.
This punt is a beauty by Stockton. And it's deadened at the 2-yard line.
The thing about him, Drew, he's in proportion. He's not a sloppy 350. I mean, you look at him out there, he looks like he's only 300.
Happy birthday.
Oh, good. Another apple. Where's Danny?
Oh, you can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man. No time to talk. Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive.
Thank
you. This is the taste.
When you think about your bank, you probably don't think relationship. I mean, you can't exactly cuddle up with your checkbook at night. But you can get a little special treatment with this. Advantage checking from Nations Bank. It actually rewards you with better rates on loans and CDs, free checks. It doesn't nickel and dime you with fees. Okay, it's not exactly like marriage. But then again, what is?
Most companies that make canopies for our nation's jet fighters look to this oil company for a critical component to make them bulletproof. When it really counts, they seem to be the one to count on. With that in mind, what kind of gasoline do you think they'd make for your car? You'd be right. Citgo, when it counts.
That orange paint might not come off for a while, but I don't think they care.
I got some solvent that I can give those guys to get that bad boy off. Yeah,
beautiful day in Dallas, Texas, especially beautiful if you're a Longhorn fan.
And that's what parents love. Spend 20 grand a year to have your kid paint his chest.
Right. Oklahoma gives it to Latrell. Check it as Carson Fields, the fullback, and maybe he got to the line of scrimmage. Eric Moore continues at quarterback for the Sooners. They have not been in the end zone today.
And that, again, one of the keys. When they had the opportunity, score 7, not 3. First and goal at the 2-yard line and fumble the football. Don't even get 3. And you can't have that happen.
To Jackson. Joe Walker was closer to the football. It's got to be tough if you're Eric Moore. You've been playing wide out, and then you get moved to quarterback this week for a few snaps.
Well, no doubt about it. And what's going on right now, Texas knows they have to throw the football. So watch all the looping and twisting and stunning that goes on up front. Crisscrossing, super loops, tackles looping outside of defensive ends, hurrying Eric Moore's read. That was almost an interception. A quicker break on the football by Walker, and he just dances, a minimal yardage to the end zone.
Super loops?
Super loops. Get all the way around the horn.
Sounds like a cereal. 3rd and 10. And Blocker can't hold on. High throw. And Oklahoma will have to punt. How many times have we said that today?
Well, they punted something like 10 of their last 11 possessions, it seemed like, other than the fumble. I mean, the fumble right at the start of the first half, I think they've been the old cha-cha ever since, just punting it away. Now, what you have to make sure of here, as you see Ferguson, he's already looking at the back line of the end zone. If it's a bad snap and he steps behind the back line of the end zone, that's a safety, and he's already aware of that.
Ben Panner is the snapper. A lot of pressure on him. Good snap. And not a good effort this time by Ferguson. For Texas will have great field position. They lead 27-3.
Vietnam War. The major television event TLC brings you the heroes and battles in the raw reality. Thump and whoosh of chopper blades, muddy rat-infested bunkers, violent spatter of sudden water fire in the morning sunshine. This is the stuff of a soldier's memory.
Vietnam, the soldier story. A 3-night event premiering Sunday at 9 on TLC. Adventures for your mind.
How come so many professional athletes wear copper bracelets? Hey, that's Chichi Rodriguez.
I think my energy band improves my golf game.
Now you too can have the Chichi Rodriguez Energy Band. It combines the power of copper with the harmonizing power of magnetics.
He really looks good, too.
The Energy Band is beautifully crafted from solid copper, then electroplated in genuine 24-karat gold with a stunning white gold accent. Patent-pending magnets make it truly unique, and it's designed to comfortably fit your wrist. Copper and magnetic bracelets sell in catalogs for up to $150 and more. But the Chichi Rodriguez Energy Band is yours for only $19.95. Order yours now while supplies last.
That's being a winner.
To order, use your credit card and call 1-800-565-0880. That's 1-800-565-0880. Or send check or money order to the address on your screen. Call and order right now.
27-3, Texas. Drew Goodman, Dave Lapham, Jim Knox from the Cotton Bowl. Well, you've been around cattle before. What do you think Bevo's thinking?
I think Bevo's looks very, very peaceful right now. I think he thinks this game's well in hand. He's just taking a major league chill pill, I think.
Bevo's looking around saying, what on earth am I doing here?
Really, what are all these people looking at?
1st and 10, ball at the +42 for the Longhorns. Ricky Williams to the 40-yard line.
And then Ricky Williams has been contained a good part of the day, but you give him enough opportunity and he'll do this kind of thing to you. Fullback gets a great block. McGarity down the field, escorts him into the end zone. He scores there, and then this run of over 50 yards, he finds an assignment error and gap control responsibility by Oklahoma and abuses it to the tune of over 50 yards to set up another Texas score. At some point, he's such a weapon, he's going to hurt you.
He also had a 78-yard sprint for a touchdown called back because of a hold.
Right, his numbers would be phenomenal if that didn't happen.
Williams stays on his feet, gets it to the 37-yard line. Brian Fisher grabbed him. You got to give credit to this Oklahoma defense. They've been on the field a lot, particularly in the second half today, and they keep hanging around. A much improved Oklahoma defense in 1998.
Well, I don't think they get the offensive support they were hoping for. And one thing Rex Ryan, the new defensive coordinator at Oklahoma, demands is effort and running to the football. And he's getting it. He's getting it out of this defensive unit this season.
3rd and 5. Sooners show blitz, and they back out of it. Applewhite can run for the first. To the 22-yard line. Major Applewhite showing the entire repertoire today.
Well, Major Applewhite had linebacker Brandon Moore in a sweat between the rock and the hard place. Because once Applewhite decides he's going to step up in the pocket to try to find somebody to throw to, he's got Brandon Moore in coverage, pump fakes. Moore stays with the receiver, then slips and falls, and eventually takes Applewhite down. But he froze the linebacker with that little pump fake to give himself extra yards.
Ricky Williams. Good hit, but an 11-yard gain for Williams. Let's get an update on our all-time rushing leaders, including that 11-yard carry. Ricky now at 5,372 yards. Next on the list will be Charles White.
Yep. Well, he passed one Heisman Trophy winner in Herschel Walker, and he's got another one in his sights.
He's leapfrogged past 7 Heisman Trophy winners in 1998.
Well, and I'm hoping that he'll be a Heisman Trophy winner himself. If I had a vote, he'd have mine.
Mine too. I think he's the best football player in America. And he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Texas.
His second touchdown of the day. And that one would have gone for a lot of distance. Didn't need to get many yards on that occasion. His offensive line blew up a big hole. Ricky Williams went in untouched. He would have scored in touch football, as they say, on that particular journey.
27 42nd touchdown of the year for Williams.
And it's the fourth quarter, and you just keep hammering Ricky Williams up in there. Nice trap by Ben Adams, pulling from his right guard spot. Kick out block. Ricky Williams backdoors it for 6.
Chris Stockton trying to make it 34-3. And he does. The Longhorns 34, the Oklahoma Sooners 3.
Hey, girls.
Man, I am thirsty. You some power, baby. Oh, pretty, please. Come on now. You're in there. Come on, son.
No self-control.
Come on now, Dr. Pepper. I don't want nothing else. Let's go, Dr. Pepper.
Delta, British Airways, Northwest, KLM, United. All of these, in fact, most of the world's major airlines, domestic and international, rely on this oil company for fuel. When it really counts, they seem to be the one to count on. With that in mind, what kind of gasoline do you think they make for your car? You'd be right. Citgo, when it counts.
Big 12 football is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, this is the taste. And by the all-new BMW 3 Series. Everything your car does well, it does brilliantly. Rides going at the Texas State Fair. And inside the Cotton Bowl, it's all Longhorns, 34-3 over Oklahoma. Texas averaging 43 points a game this year. The problem for them is they've been giving up 37 a game, but not today, Dave.
Not today. Their defense has done a great job, and I think they're starting to build confidence. You know, this football team, Ricky, of course, needs 8 more points to become the NCAA all-time scoring leader. He's got 12 on the board today.
That includes kickers. He's already the all-time scoring leader among non-kickers.
Right.
This is Thornton, who had a long return earlier. And he gets to the 45-yard line for Oklahoma. 27 yards on the return.
How about Ricky Williams? 22 rushing touchdowns in 6 football games. It's incredible.
I've heard of worse ideas, by the way, than this.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I think there'd be a lot of kids growing dreadlocks out there if Ricky were president.
I'm going to try to grow some.
Yeah, if I could, I would. I can't
You
grow
look
my
good
hair
in
that way.
dreadlocks. That's just my opinion.
That would be something.
Eric Moore to Damon Parker. And Parker will get 6 yards to the 49-yard line of Texas.
Parker.
Let's look at what Texas has done defensively this year and how they fared today.
Yeah, let's make a reference point. Look at this. Less than half. They've allowed less than half the total yards they've been giving up on the season. Of course, you know, Oklahoma has struggled offensively. Let's speak the truth here. UCLA and Kansas State can light you up. In Texas, got lit up. But they didn't lose their perspective on the season, and they're improving. And that's the key.
Gerald Williams. Gerald still doesn't know the ball was released. And Eric saying, come back to the football. You're supposed to run a comeback route or an out route.
Yep.
Gerald Williams saying, I thought I was running the streak.
Yeah, Williams was running the double move, and Moore was throwing the single move. And once again, quarterback and receiver on different pages.
Well, unfortunately, that has been the story all day for Oklahoma. 2 of 13 won't get it done.
Well, there have been so many 3rd and 13, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 17. Those are brutal to convert. And he broke the line of scrimmage. Williams did. When he went in motion, he went forward. No goal.
We're going to take
5 yards.
Out. 7:19 to go.
Good ball. Offside on the offense.
Sometimes the toughest decision is deciding when to make your move.
If you've been waiting to refinance, make your move now with the new Ultimate 125 loan from First Plus. It lets you refinance up to 125% of the value of your home, no equity required, so you can consolidate bills and get extra cash all in one loan. Make your move count with the new Ultimate 125 only at First Plus.
Hey, son, get back here.
Call 1-800-510-PLUS.
Vietnam War. The major television event TLC brings you the heroes and battles in the raw reality. Thump and whoosh of chopper blades, muddy rat-infested bunkers, violent spatter of sudden mortar fire in the morning sunshine. This is the stuff of a soldier's memory.
Vietnam, the soldier story. A 3-night event premiering Sunday at 9 on TLC. Adventures for your mind.
While we were away, we missed a sack. The 4th by Texas today. Eric Moore was dropped. And Ferguson wearing that right leg out. Another hammer job over the head of Hodges Mitchell. Good discipline by Mitchell to let it go over his head. He stopped right at the 10-yard line. He knew where he was. 58 yards for Jeff Ferguson on that punt. Well, it's no surprise that Hodges Mitchell did a good job there. He's a very bright kid on the academic honor roll a year ago in the Big 12.
And Hodges Mitchell, as you mentioned, Drew, the 10-yard line is the demarcation zone. Don't venture past that. Put the invisible fence there, and if you approach it, get that slight correction to remind you not advance any further in retreat.
Texas has been balanced offensively all year, and they've been balanced today. Applewhite's had a big day, and Ricky Williams has had a nice day. So Ante Jones grabs him in the backfield. Ante Jones, 5'9" and 196 pounds from Homestead, Florida. He's playing outside linebacker.
Look at the guns on the guy. Bench is over 400. He's got some loaded guns now. You know, he'll hit you, but he gets hit hard a lot, too. He's undersized. He runs like heck. They call him the Energizer. After the Energizer Bunny, he just keeps going and going. But a lot of times he can't practice at all during the week. He's so beaten up from Saturday.
Applewhite wants to run again. He gets a good block. And he gets positive yards. And a flag down again.
I think Oklahoma may have jumped offside at the start of this play. I think that was a free play once again. Nope, illegal procedure on Texas. Derek Lewis was the final block for Major Applewhite on the peel back block that got him to the sideline. That was a big hit.
Illegal procedure. Offense. 6 men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
We're seeing that called quite a bit. You have to have 7 men on the line of scrimmage for it to be a legal formation. That time, Texas didn't have enough wide receivers up on the line of scrimmage. Only 6 people on the line of scrimmage. No go. Illegal play.
Second and 21. Williams. Tackled by Terry White. You know, I'm looking on the Oklahoma side of the field, and a lot of folks are heading to the fair to get a hot dog and try to forget about this one. But in terms of burnt orange, I don't think anybody's left.
No, they're relishing this day. This doesn't happen in this series very often. 9 out of the last 10 matchups between these two teams decided by 10 points or less. 49 times in this storied history by 10 points or less. Today is an aberration. 31-point lead by the Longhorns, and the burnt orange fans are loving it.
Applewhite, Ante Jones had him, lost him, and they get him the second time through. Second sack for Oklahoma today. Darrell Bright, Frank Romero. There's Bright coming off the field. He's been active on the defensive line today. A couple of pass knockdowns.
He really has. And Oklahoma averaging 4.5 sacks coming into the game. There's Jones on the inside move, beats the running back, Brown, but Applewhite makes him miss. But now there's too many red jerseys, though. No place for him to turn to, and he gets sacked for the second time.
Chris Stockton from his own end zone will punt. Jarrell Jackson back around midfield. Jackson out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. And we will step away from the Cotton Bowl. 34-3 Texas. For the Oklahoma Sooners 3 with 3:52 to play. Oklahoma has the football at the 27-yard line of Texas. A chance maybe to feel a little better about themselves offensively here. Eric Moore's been the quarterback the last several series. Third quarterback used by Oklahoma today. And they hand it to Reggie Skinner. And his first carry of the day doesn't net much. Junior college transfer from Northeastern Oklahoma A&M.
Well, the fact that Oklahoma can't get much done throwing the football is allowing Texas to be creative with their defensive package in the front seven. It's becoming a front 8 and 9 and really getting aggressive.
And Dave, as good as DeMont Parker is, they're going to see 8 and 9 people on the line of scrimmage the rest of the year until they prove they can throw it a little bit. Great effort by Gerald Williams, but had he caught it, he would have been out of bounds. Third down.
You're right, Drew, and the difference for Texas today, Texas has got McGarity with over 150 yards in receptions, and Cavill with a touchdown as well to complement Ricky Williams. What has Oklahoma got to show in a complimentary role to Parker? Nothing today. That's the problem.
Look at this. They have 200 yards of total offense. They have 155 in returns. They had the long kick return, but they didn't capitalize. Might have been a different football game if they punched that in. And Eric Moore might have had his foot stepped on, just fell down. And that, unfortunately, is symbolic of the day for the Oklahoma Sooners.
Well, absolutely. It looked like either a center or guard stepped, and it's like putting a nail in your big toe. It's just absolutely planted to the turf, and down you go. In full retreat, offensive line setting up to pass protect, and Moore gets tangled up with him.
That'll be 4th and 13. They need the 17-yard line. Flat to Thornton. That was well covered. Texas all over the place.
Well, Dusty Renfro got the hit, and part of the reason is Oklahoma let him come on the inside and pass protected further to the perimeter. You have to protect inside out to keep your quarterback clean. That time Renfro came clean and got the hit.
We'll have a bye next week. In 2 weeks, they'll have Baylor in Austin. Then they'll have to go to Lincoln, Nebraska. Ricky Williams, now this Hodges Mitchell, scampers out of bounds at the 36-yard line. You know, Hodges Mitchell was recruited to play football at North Carolina for Mack Brown, committed verbally, and then decided he wanted to stay a little closer to home. His father was a roommate of Mack Brown. They played together at Florida State.
Well, Hodges Mitchell at 5'7", 190, Drew, a much different package than what Ricky Williams presents. And Oklahoma substituting late from the sideline, flag on the play, may have an illegal participation deal going on here.
And while they sort that out, it gives us an opportunity to thank some important people who walk off 15 against Oklahoma for unsportsmanlike conduct. We thank some important people who make Saturday afternoons possible. possible for you. The executive producers are Arthur Smith and Bill Borson of this broadcast. The coordinating producer for college football Saturday is Roy Hamilton. Today's game has been produced by the good doctor Robert Steinfeld and directed by Ken Miller. The vice president of field operations is Andrea Jenkins. It's going to be regroup time for John Blake. Oklahoma next week travels to Missouri and then Oklahoma State. And 4 of their next 5, Dave, will come away from Norman, Oklahoma.
Well, away, and what they have to do, Drew, is maintain poise, and they can't lose it like they did in this game. Too many penalties for too many yards.
Monte Jones tackles Hodges Mitchell. Let's take a look at our Dr. Pepper player of the game. How about the quarterback? They call him Opie. You can see why. He's a redhead. He's our Dr. Pepper player of the game, Major Applewhite. Good day in the air. That's a career high.
And he looks like he's your paper boy. I mean, he looks like a young kid out there dropping off the morning newspaper, but he's deadly. Completing over 50% of his passes for close to 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Second down, not much doing again for Mitchell. You can see a team starting to feel a whole lot better about themselves. And the way this season started for Texas, tough loss to UCLA. They were really handled by Kansas State. And now they're starting to feel good about themselves, not only offensively, I think they always did on offense, but defensively.
Well, and Mac Brown basically had to make sure that the level of trust with the new coaching staff and the players remained high. They could have lost their season in those blowouts to UCLA and Kansas State, but they haven't. They've maintained the course.
Ryan O'Neal hands off, and sweeping wide 33 is Chris Robertson, and he may have gotten the first down. Chris Robertson, who normally wears number 37, of course, today in honor of Doak Walker, Ricky Williams wore 37. And Chris asked his head coach, can I wear 34 for a game? What do you say, Dave?
33. You're going to wear number 33, not 34 today.
Said, I don't think you want any part of 34, son.
Now, Earl Campbell is pretty much legendary right there.
And that will be the final snap of the 93rd edition of the Red River Shootout. And it will be a memorable one for the Texas Longhorns in their biggest win in the series since 1970. They've thrown a knockout blow to the Oklahoma Sooners today, 34-3, the final.
And the story of this football game, early on Oklahoma had their chances. They could have been up 10-0 if it weren't for penalty. They had self-inflicted a lot of damage. And over the course of the football game, the theme continued. They'd start to make something positive happen, like an opening to the second half kickoff return, short field for a touchdown opportunity, fumble the football, and Texas come right back with a 97-yard touchdown pass to really take full control of this football game. 14-point swing right there. Instead of being a 1-score game, it became a 3-score game, and for all practical purposes, game was over at that point, right at the start of the second half.
Well, the tower in Austin on the campus of the University of Texas will be bright orange tonight.
Look at the stadium. Oklahoma, all the fans have already gone to the fair. The Texas Longhorn fans want to revel in all this post-game celebration before they go for their corn dogs.
The song of the day will be The Eyes of Texas. Boomer Sooner will have to wait for another day. Now let's go downstairs. Jim Nance with Mac Brown. Jim, take it away.
All right, thanks, Drew. Coach, a complete domination today on both sides of the football. You guys came out, took it right to them, and end up 34-3 victorious.
Well, Jim, OU's got a real good football team, and we had our crowd into it today. Ricky Williams is a great player. I hate he had the 80-yarder call back. young freshman quarterback played well, but our defense played as well as they've played all year. If we could continue to play like that on defense, we can be a good football team.
Yeah, you talk about the defense. I thought it set the tone in the second half. They got the long kickoff return. Defense comes up with a big play at the goal line.
Defense came up with a big play. We've talked about our team playing as one heartbeat. We caused the fumble at the 1 and then threw the deep pass for the touchdown for 99 yards on about the 3rd play after that. And that's what you call being a great football team and playing together.
How about the play of Major Applewhite tonight? They said he played like a general, and he did just that.
Well, Major's played that way every week. People thought this game might get to him, but when your first game is at Kansas State against the #1 defense in the country, this is still a classic. It's always been. It's a great rivalry. It's so much fun. But Major Applewhite's a good football player.
14 years ago, you were on the other sidelines involved in a 15-all tie. Today, you take it. I'm the head coach of the Texas Longhorns. That has to be a big thrill there.
Well, it is. It's a big thrill for me, and we'll have many more of these.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ricky Williams, of course, the big story in this game, 2 touchdowns, 139 yards. Major Applewhite well over the 250-yard mark as well. Drew?
All right, Jim, thanks very much. Congratulations to Texas. They win it 34-3. Time for our BMW play of the day. And this was the knockout blow, Dave.
Oh, it really was. Major Applewhite looking off his receiver, trying to look the safety away, but McGarity just absolutely outruns Ivy. Just nothing fancy about it. Applewhite over the top, and McGarity outrunning everybody. 97-yard touchdown pass, longest in Texas school history, and it was coffin nails in that game.
And Ricky Williams, 139 yards unofficially on the ground. He passed Herschel Walker earlier today, and he's down with Jim Knox.
All right, thanks a lot, Drew. Ricky, a very emotional day, I'm sure, for you. You come back. Bill Walker, a great friend of yours, a couple of weeks ago passed away. You have number 37 on today. How emotional was this game today?
Well, I came out here, and, I was proud to wear this number in the house that he built, and I think our team did a great job, to let me pay tribute to him in a very big way.
2 touchdowns, 139 yards of rushing. As far as today goes, that's not a bad day for Ricky Williams at the office.
It's not a bad day. They came in, trying to stop the run. They put 9 men on the line of scrimmage, and it gave us opportunity to hit them in the passing game.
When you went into the end zone on that 1 touchdown run, you pointed up to the sky. What was that all about?
I knew Doug was watching me and helping me get some yards tonight.
Congratulations, Ricky Williams. Not only a great running back, but a great individual off the field. Drew?
You can say that again. No question about that. Thanks, Jim. And Ricky Williams, thanks very much. He got in the end zone twice today. Got in from 20 yards away early. Texas rolls over Oklahoma 34-3.